Hello, everybody. It's a Saturday. You know what that means. It's Classic Who's On. Welcome. Nice to see you all here. Hope you are well. Tom Baker this week, folks. Tom Baker. So get our episodes ready. Here, boss, says someone in the private chat. I ain't nobody's boss. But welcome. Nice to see you all. We've got royalty joining us on the panel this weekend. We've got a crown prince and a queen joining us. So we'll start with ladies first. We've got the one and only Queen Charlotte.
Hello, Alpha copied me. I'm going to tell on him.
Okay. Who are you gonna? I don't know who you're going to tell on him on, but good luck with that one. Oh, I love it. And yeah, as I know, it's Easter weekend. I should say to everybody, happy Easter. I'm still confused about the bunny rabbit thing and eggs and Jesus. If anybody wants to kind of try and tell me and how that all came about, I'll be very interested to know. Thank you. Right, let's bring on our next guest because he's the real. Yes, I said it. He's real. Of course, he's real. He's the real super doctor.
Hey Noel, how are you doing?
I'm not too bad, pal. I'm not too bad. I'll just seeing what someone did in the studio there now. So we've got a queen. We've got a real super doctor there. He's super, and we've got an emperor and a crown prince coming up next. What are these guys at this week? Right. Well, let's bring them on. It's Emperor Problem Being.
Hello. I couldn't be upstage. I'm sorry. No.
It's not like this is a new thing.
Sad thing is, you've all been upstaged by Queen Charlotte already. So
I already said there's only room for one queen here.
That's it.
Only joking.
Right, let's bring him on. It's the one and only. He's all the way from Dubai. The Crown Prince of Mecca.
From Abu Dhabi.
Hello.
You can hear birds. You can hear the birds tweeting in your garden.
Yeah, I have to close the windows.
Well, I suppose it beats another dog barking.
Yeah,
that's it. But still, it's fucking annoying me. Right, I'm watching this on the PlayStation, so just give us a second, and I'm gonna look for it now. But while I'm looking for it, everybody can get their copy ready, lads and ladies. We'll start with Queen Charlotte. Just before we start this story, do you want to? Obviously, you would have watched it before we actually do the watch along. Do you want to give your brief thoughts on what you thought of the story before we start?
Yeah, no, I found this sort of a very, in a good way, odd mixture of things, because it's quite, it's sort of very technobabble and very sciencey with the idea of the TARDIS and what happens to it and sort of the Master's plot. But then you do sort of have this sort of dread and this sort of, I think I heard Simon from the Spacebook say it feels like a funeral dirge. And I felt that watching it with the sort of cloister bell and the way Tom's acting in this. So I found it quite an interesting mix of things, especially for a regeneration episode.
Right. Well, I found it. That's the good news.
I
So
love how organised you are there now.
no, I am organised. Don't be saying I'm not organised. I am. I have it here. But the thing about it is the usual fucking problem we have. Oh no, there. Pause it. Right. Yeah, is this whole thing is a bit temperamental. The site that I'm using. Charlotte knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, let's hope it's nicer to us tonight.
Yeah, well, I've got a full screen anyway, so I'm good to go. But is everybody in the chat ready? And actually, I just want to see if our special guest is alive. We might have a special guest on with us this week, folks. We won't tell you who it is. Obviously, the chat knows. But we'll see if they pop up. Right. I think we should actually get everybody in the chat to press 1 if you're ready, please. If you are, let us know.
I thought we were going around the panel to ask them.
Yeah,
what they
I was about to get back to that now. I just
Oh.
want to change something on the screen there. Could you just wait for a second?
Oh, dear.
So we'll go with the Emperor next because we don't. He's going to start bitching like the Queen. So go ahead.
Yeah, this was a traumatic story for me as a 6 to 7 year old.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a story that I do like, but it's tough. The master is, his usual maniacal. I must have an evil plan for no good reason, in his usual manner. I do like this story. I love the whole concept of the Watcher, and how it caused quite a lot of discussion. How we perceive him. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah, it would be because you met Tom and all, so this would have had a huge impact on yourself. Real super doctor.
Well, I'd saw the last episode of this when I was about 3 years old, and that's how I get into Doctor Who, because I saw Tom Baker and technically he was my first Doctor. It was I probably told you the story before that I had came back from my great grand's up at Pollock Shaw's. I was visiting and I noticed the police boxes up there, and then I saw the police boxes in the television, and I asked my mum what the hell. Well, I never said the hell, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I said to my mum, what was this? And she said it was Doctor Who, and I found it intriguing. And so I kept watching it, and I was enjoying it. And then I saw the police box, and then I saw them all going inside the police box, and I thought, what's a police box doing in this television series? And it caught my attention, and it just played on my mind all the time. And then I saw the interior shots, and it was this big white room with the circles in the walls and the console in the middle, and they're running in and out it. So it was like that was the start of the police boxes TARDISes, basically, sort of thing. Like every time I went up to Glasgow, it was like, I was just like pulling my mum away, and I was just wanting to look at a police box because I always thought they were TARDISes. Because to a 4 or 5 year old, you're always. It was like a magical experience getting up to Glasgow and seeing one of them in the streets.
Yeah.
You just wanted to stand and look at it, and I remember when I was always trying the door handles and all that and everything like that, trying to get into it and that.
Do you know, I never had that experience myself personally because we didn't have those police boxes over here. They may have had them here one time when we were occupied by Britain back in no, because we were actually independent then at that stage, so we wouldn't have. But never seen them, so I can imagine, because when I became a fan of the show, the TARDIS for me was the most, like, the Doctor was intriguing, But the
Yeah.
TARDIS was always the thing that drawed me to the show. It was just this magical box to me as a kid.
Yeah.
Like it could go anywhere in time and space, and that to me was amazing. Because as a kid, your imagination runs wild. Even as an adult now, when I watch good Doctor Who, I'm thinking, what time period would I actually go back and like it does. It brings you back. I just look. This story to me at this stage. I was kind of getting sick of the Master. Um, because he featured very heavily in the Pertwee era, and then like, I was like, give a break on the old Master, will you?
I remember I was scared of the Master because you
Yeah.
know that it was this kind of villain. He was kind of very, very kind of dangerous and all that. And you didn't know what he was going to do next, and it was quite scary because
I love Dainley's Master.
you were like 3 years old and you were kind of questioning all this. Who is he and all that, and it would play in your mind, and you'd want to see more episodes. But I remember that I was totally fixated with the regeneration. I mean, 3 years old and just sitting there and just watching this man change into another man just right in front of you.
Yeah.
And like Noel said, with the Watcher concept, it's a very intriguing regeneration. It's one of the very unique ones, really.
Yeah.
That was
I was quite scared of the Watcher as well.
The Emperor. Don't take credit away from him because he'll start.
I'll have goes.
Right. But we might as well get because obviously the Crown Prince Omega actually picked this story. So let's Alpha, can I ask you? I'm probably putting you on the spot here, but can I ask you why you chose this particular story, or did you just choose it because it was a 4-parter because you didn't want to do a 6-parter? Even though I did write to you after the fact and say, if you want a 6-parter, Alpha, it doesn't matter. Go for it. I'm not going to moan. But you went for a 4-parter anyway. But was there a particular reason why you went for this story?
Probably because it was one that was half decent that you haven't already watched. I had like 3 or 4 other choices, but we've done that. So
right. Okay.
This is a pretty good one. Tom was the first Doctor I saw too, and I had no idea that regeneration was coming. It was a new concept, and I just kind of felt like empty when it was like, this guy's done now. This guy who I've grown to really loving the role, and now somebody else is doing it. So
traumatic. PTSD for me.
It is though. It is.
Post Tom distress.
It can be. That's the thing. It does. That's what I mean. That's why I'll always defend the fandom when certain parts slag them off for getting emotional and getting attached. I mean, that's why these things have an impact on you, especially if you're a kid and you're watching Doctor Who, which a lot of us were lucky enough to see Doctor Who as a kid when it was still on TV. Now, for me, obviously, it was coming to the end of its run. I had Peter Davis. Well, obviously, I was born in '79, but Peter Davison was obviously the Doctor that I was forced aware of until my dad says there's other doctors and other doctors, and then like obviously I start watching all the other Doctors before Peter Davison. So I mean, it is a traumatic thing to see the Doctor, because even as a kid, Peter Davison was mysterious to me. He was like, and then to see, by the end, what happened, that's traumatic, man. That does have an impact on you emotionally. And this is why I'll always defend fans that these other fans criticize, because, we grew up, every single one of us on the panel, right? Including Charlotte. Charlotte grew up with New Who, but she grew up with New Who. Like, her doctors were Christopher Eccleston and stuff, but she grew up with them, so she'd have an emotional attachment to those characters, and it would have had an impact on her when those doctors regenerated.
You should have seen me when. Yeah, you should have seen me when Matt.
Matt's regeneration for me is more emotional, though. It is when Amy Pond comes down those stairs, right? Puts her hand out and says, "Raggedy man, I lose it. I lose it.
Yeah, I kind of cry as well.
I completely go. I break, man. That is like, it is. It's the sad. I'm being honest. It's the for me. David Tennant's one always gets voted the most emotional one. It's not. It's not.
No, it's just a load of noise. Whereas Matt, and for me, it wasn't even the Amy bit. Weirdly, it was when he says, "I'll always remember when the doctor was me."
Yeah.
And I just was like, "Oh, I need to go in a room and cry in a dark room by myself now. Thanks."
And even though that line, you know, that line made no sense whatsoever, it didn't. Because if you look at you, why would you say something like that? I remember the doctor was me. You won't remember.
No, but that was Matt. That was Matt talking, and that's why I adore that line.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, exactly. That's why I think that got to everybody, and you could see that was killing him, and he regrets it now because he said the one thing he regrets is leaving. So. You know, but I don't blame him. Look, at the time when he left, his star was on the rise. You know, he was promised these big roles, and he ended up on the cutting room floor. It's not his fault that they put him on the cutting room floor. I mean, he was supposed to be in Terminator Gen Z. He was supposed to be in that a lot more than what he actually was, but a lot of his stuff was on the cutting room floor. So, yeah, so... and Harry, what's that one with Michael Caine? Is it Michael Caine? No, not him, Harry Brown. No, it's not that one. It's a different one. But Matt Smith is in it as well, but he ended up being on the cutting room floor. None of his scenes were seen at all. So that can happen. But yeah, his regeneration for me, really. But this one, Tom's one, Tom, when they're going back, because obviously, you know, he's got some of the greatest stories in my opinion. And when even though I knew he was gonna regenerate, so it was kind of obviously it was spoiled for me, it still had an impact. Like when he regenerates, it's like, oh no, like the way it happens as well. I'm just no. I wasn't happy. I haven't been happy with certain doctors that have left over the years, but like, you know, it already happened, so like there's no point to keep complaining about it. But I'm pissed over Peter Capaldi, but that's another story, and we're gonna leave it there now because we're gonna do this watch along now. But yeah, I'm still devastated over Peter's regeneration. I still haven't gotten over that, actually, if I'm being brutally honest. I don't think I ever will.
I don't think you get over a doctor's regeneration.
No, not this one though. Not this one.
But if you think about it, it's one of the few shows where part of the DNA is basically the main character dies.
Yeah.
There's no other show where it's like a part of the show, it's accepted.
Yeah, no, I get you. And I do agree with you, right? And that's what's made it successful. I just think I just can't get over it because when I don't want to get into it because we're doing class. I'll tell you what, we'll talk about this briefly tomorrow because I do want to make a point, right? It's just short, but I don't want to do it Jordan this classic because it is classic. So I'll keep it the classic because I always give out when someone else brings up New Who, and there I am bringing it up. So I'll shut up now. We'll talk about it tomorrow, just briefly tomorrow. But yeah, back to this story. But is everybody? I think everybody did press one. Just press one again, and then we'll get Charlotte to do the countdown. But hold on, Lee has muted himself. There's a private message. He says he'll be right back. Don't start without me. Right, let's start now then. Come on, let's do it.
5,
4. We're only messing. 3, 2,
1. I've got to say, I only considering I've got I know him as the camp master. That's sort of my image in my head. he's quite sinister in this. Like, they really do write him quite sinister.
I didn't think Ainley was camp. I thought he was more kind of pantomime, like pantomime villain.
Yeah. See, see, a lot of the actors back then were they all theatre actors. So he was a proper, if I'm correct in saying, he was a proper theatre actor, and it came across in some of these scenes. But yeah, I do like his master. I do. I have to be honest. It took me a while to get used to him because obviously we had Roger Delgado and like Tom Baker. Everybody would say that he's probably the definitive master. So to see someone else in the role to play it at the time, you know, it took me a while to get used to him. But yeah, his master is great. Listen, it's no Roger's master, but he puts his own spin on it, and it works.
I love Anthony Ainley's master. He was my first master, and I used to love his black velvet costume. I used to draw pictures of him all the time. It was absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
And I hadn't, seen Delgado to that point until I went to my high school where we had that Doctor Who club, and we got to see all the old Delgado stories. And yeah, it's just fantastic. I mean, it was weird for me because I knew he was the first master, the original, you might say, and it was very difficult to kind of get used to that, because for me, my first master was Ainley's master. But I mean, the retrospective, once you kind of remove your prejudice, your particular point of view and how you see a particular character, you appreciate how the character was developed originally, and you look at Delgado in a completely different way, and then you look at Ainley in a different way as well. But you respect how different they are and how similar they are also, but how I don't think it was until really Survival that Ainley's master was allowed to be the way that Ainley wanted to play it. Because JNT wanted the camp pantomime villain type, and Ainley, I think, always fought with him over that. But yeah, it's a shame, but I still enjoy it. I mean, I absolutely adore Ainley's master, and he's sadly missed. And I'd like to hear more adventures of him on Big Finish audios. I know you've got like what's his face does all the voices.
Oh, John Coleshaw.
Yeah,
it's a very good Ainley. I've been told.
It's not bad. I've heard it on the Masterful release. He's pretty good, but his Delgado isn't as good as the guy who does the voice for Black Glove. Does an awesome Delgado, really good. Anyway, that's my bed.
Right. Okay. Are we ready to go? Thank you for that, Lee.
Sorry.
And then, yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, it is kind of like weird that that even though Anthony was the first master that you're seeing, and then when you go back and you watch Roger do it, then I mean, who do you think personally for you would Ainsley be the better master for you because he was your first, or
I felt that way for a long time, even after as a kid at school seeing Delgado for the first time. I still felt Ainley was more my master. In a way, sort of spiritually he is, but I recognize Delgado's superior performance in the sense that the character was absolutely embodied by him, was created by him. And I think Ainley obviously had a very difficult job to take that on board and to move it forward. But he was held back by JNT. So, with my sort of more adult brain, I absolutely recognize Delgado as the best and the original master. But I never take away from Ainley his wonderful charismatic performance. He's so joyfully camp. and he's absolutely loving it, really. And I think seriously.
He loved to do the role, didn't he?
Absolutely.
I think.
I mean, he reveled it. I mean, if you see any of the sort of old sort of VHS, Panopticon or whatever conventions that he did, he absolutely reveled in it. And I think that's part of the joy of his master is that he's, deliciously wicked, and he's absolutely enjoying it. But I do know that he did want to play it more straight.
Yeah.
But he never got a chance. And he was a very good-looking young man as well. I have to say, if you look at him, his entire family all look the same. It's bizarre. His father looks exactly like him as well.
Yeah.
So strange. Really good-looking. So yeah, I mean, I just love it. I love the costume. I mean, it's kind of faux Ming the Merciless tash and beard thing is a bit funny, but I love that look of the master. I like that Svengali kind of sinister, Victorian or Edwardian, villain. I like that. I like that suave, sophisticated look. And I wish they
did
get
a
back
lot
to
in
that.
the old horror movies back in the day. Do you remember the villains would be dressed up kind of like that? Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah. Right. Well, let's get the show on the road then, because if we continue, you'll be here all night talking about how Anthony is fantastic, and
he is fantastic.
He is fantastic. But we've got to watch along to do. We're 26
and we'll get to watch him.
And I want to try keep everybody here tonight. So I think we should get it going.
At least it's not a six-parter.
So, without further ado, the queen of the house, the queen of the panel.
Right, 5, 4.
Excuse me. I'm talking. I'm talking about the queen.
The other one, yeah.
Yeah, the other queen.
The other one. Well, I'll get you back for that.
You're a drama queen. We're actually, you're the drama queen. We're actually asking Charlotte, the proper queen, there to do the countdown.
Okay, folks. Ready?
Yep.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
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 I just love these titles.
Happy Easter, everybody! Woo woo!
What the hell was that?
I don't know.
It is odd seeing Tom's face because I do associate Peter with these titles.
Yeah. Well, these are the first titles I actually saw Doctor Who, so when I was a kid.
And it's part 1, as if we didn't know. They have to tell us on the screen. I want one. See, just give it to me.
I absolutely want one of these TARDISes, police boxes, but I don't think I'll get one. No.
I would just love one, just to have any. What's that? What's that? You don't know what that is? All right, get out of my house.
That almost looks like Heartbeat, doesn't it, this scene?
Yeah.
Yeah. Heartbeat. Do 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 do. I don't know the song, but yeah, I remember that was a show.
Actually, this was all filmed in the Barnet Bypass, and there was an actual police box originally in that position where the police box prop is for this. I think there's photographs online somewhere.
I do love the last thing they do with the Master.
Yeah.
You don't see him, and it's like this really it establishes the threat very early without seeing him, which I like.
You tell him. Shut up, Adric.
Hey, I don't know. Listen for a minute, right? I'm going to defend this kid here, right? I don't know why he gets such a bad rep.
Shut
Right?
up, Adric.
No, right? I've watched them, right? And yes, some of the criticism he gets is justified, right? Because the acting is appalling. But the way everybody's talking, you think he was the worst thing that ever happened to the show. He wasn't that bad.
But that was Tegan.
Yeah.
Oh no.
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 He wasn't that bad, and I'm going to defend him. He wasn't. He gets.
I'll defend Tegan over Adric any day.
Stick, unjustly, man. His acting's not even that bad. I've seen worse myself. Watch the Blair Witch Project 2, Book of Shadows, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Right?
I mean, poor Tegan, she had a traumatic experience. I mean,
Right.
Yeah, I just
towards
didn't
the
like
end.
her character, though. I'm sorry. I just didn't like, because she was just a moan hole all the time. She was never happy.
Yeah.
Man. But I could understand it. You know, she was taken away, like, and stuff. But still, come on. All the other companions eventually just go with the flow and then eventually go home. Yeah, Mel is worse. I agree, disaster area. Mel is worse than Waterhouse. Definitely. Matthew. I do think he
there she
looks
is.
better with Tom, though. Tom's doctor, though. Oh, here we go. Jesus.
Auntie Vanessa.
who I'm bad with cars because I hardly know a thing about them, but even I would think, yeah, I'll have a tie that actually is like has air in it as my spare.
Remember, my grandmother had a coat like that and a hat like that.
The front fucking door.
And it's still open when they see that.
Oh yeah, it is. Look, guys, you can see it's still open. So she literally pushed it over, but the doors. Oh, that is brilliant.
From not closing the door.
Oh Jesus! Look at the state of that car.
Yeah.
It's been in a scraper too.
And every time she's looked for a bloke to help her, you can tell she's that type of woman, auntie. So is this a room in his TARDIS?
This is actually the cloister room of the TARDIS. And
Right.
it's because the TARDIS is affected by universal entropy. It's causing the destruction of the interior, and it's affecting the TARDIS systems. Like, say the TARDIS is like a computer, and because it has it occupies space, and because it's occupying its own memory, and it takes an awful lot of space to actually fly this TARDIS into dimensions, and that's what basically it's powered by.
Because it's a lovely little set. It's a good, like I said, and it sort of, like I said, this episode has this sort of really technical side to it.
Yeah.
But then this sort of gothic feel to it, like even the cloister bell. Like,
yeah.
Do you know the cloister bell sound was invented? They used one of those Chinese gongs and they put it underwater.
Yeah.
That's how they got that boing.
Well, it made me think of that famous quote: "Do not ask for who the bell tolls; it tolls for thee." And with the whole thing of Tom going, it really does sort of add to the atmosphere, doesn't it?
That car is so knackered.
Yeah. She needs to trade it in for a younger model. Oh, yeah.
Well, now you know why she's such a moan hole.
Yeah, she takes after her mother.
It's amazing what a year of marriage to Lila Ward does to your face, isn't it?
Yeah.
It only lasted a year, did it?
I
Yeah.
don't think it lasted that long, did it?
Yeah, it was a year.
Oh, it's our auntie. Okay, it's not.
Yeah,
our mother.
Auntie Vanessa.
Whinging Poms, my ass. Whinging Aussies.
Oh, there we
She
go.
has the real vibe of an air hostess.
Oops.
Yeah, but
I
at
just
least
love
air
that
hostesses
TARDIS.
can. Yeah, at least air hostesses can usually fake being happy. She can't even do
Yeah.
that. See, I quite like also this outfit for Tom. Do you just have this outfit for this season?
Yeah, it's for season 18.
I really quite like it. I know some people don't, but I
Oh, I
think
love
it
it.
works.
I love that scarf. I've actually
I love
got that
it.
scarf.
It's the most costumey out of his. You know,
Yeah.
it's the first time we see the introduction of the question marks on the collar as well.
Yeah. You see, he's trying to hide it in with the scarves. He's not really wanting to show the
Yeah, I
question
really
mark.
didn't like it.
No.
Yeah, but at least with this one, like, I understand what you mean by the start of the costume phase. That which, let's be honest, I don't think the show's ever stopped getting out of. But it's at least with this one, it's not too loud. Yes, it's a lot going
Yeah.
on, but it's all one colour, so it
Yeah.
blocks it out and it works. Even though I do like Davidson's outfit, and I know that's one that a few fans have gone nope, but I quite like Davidson's cricket get-up.
Yeah, I like the cricket, and I like the last season Peter Davison done. The last season that aired, it had a different variation to the cricket jumper and a variation to the coat and the trousers.
I think what it is with Davidson, for me, it suits his Doctor. Like, that sort of young, sort of
Yeah.
energetic. So it would, whereas I think sometimes if you've got something that looks like a costume and it doesn't match the personality of the Doctor wearing it, that's when it can be quite sort of hard to get over.
It's amazing that she didn't even notice the TARDIS peering out of nowhere.
Right. Two TARDIS props as well.
Now, this was Christopher Hamilton Bidmead's, Christopher H. Bidmead's idea of having a TARDIS within a TARDIS within a TARDIS concept. Like because the interior is going into infinity.
Yeah.
And I do like this concept. I think it's quite intelligent.
Yeah. Another door that won't bloody shut.
Oh, there's a watcher man.
Rob Fellows correctly says, didn't the third Doctor story already do the TARDIS in a TARDIS thing? Yes, it did. I think that was Claws of Axos, wasn't it?
No, that was the monster of
Time Monster.
Time Monster. Time Monster.
Time Monsters. Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
So they put it into time RAM.
Yeah.
Oh, where's me M&M's? Oh, there they are. M&M peanuts, come to me.
You could just tell in certain moments Tom's like, why am I acting against this kid?
Yeah.
I'm a renowned actor now.
Don't know, they seem to get on very well.
I think most of the time, yes, there's certain clips or scenes to me watching it, you can tell Tom's not fully
Actually,
on board.
at this point in his run, he was kind of difficult. Everybody was having a hard time working with him. He wasn't saying the lines they were writing for him, and he said he wanted to go. And you said earlier, Charlotte, about it seemed like this has like a death march type thing to it. Well, it was during this whole filming of the last episode, it was kind of dawning on him that this was it for him.
Yeah, no, it has definitely got that with because also I think this is quite a subdued, I don't know if that's the right word, Tom performance. That he's a lot more sort of grander and less grinning with the teeth and being a bit crazy.
You know something? I don't know why they allowed Matthew Waterhouse on top of that prop. I don't think that was the safest idea. Because
exactly. Yeah.
These props were just put together, and I mean, just one sugar, that box would collapse, and
well, maybe that's what they were hoping.
Safety.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh dear, we killed him.
Oopsie daisy, we need a new companion now.
Well, we got
doesn't regenerate.
We got a Nissa and a Tegan waiting in the background.
There he sees him.
Oh.
It's like he feels or knows something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, if you think about the theory of that being the next 5, sorry, maybe he can pick up the Time Lord sense they all have of each other a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he knows it's something like him, but he doesn't know what it is. Tell you what, even just having the lights off as well makes that set look so different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like even just having muted lights.
See, when the lights are down like that, and there's just the light coming through the roundels. I mean, you've got a good effect there, and you've got the lights and the console all lit up. Yeah, there's actually a good example of that in I think it's let's think what episode that was. A Peter Davison. I think it was Enlightenment when you saw the interior all darkened and you had the light come through the roundels and you had the console rising up and down.
Yeah, because that's another thing that's weird for me, actually, going from New Who to Classic, to have such a standard TARDIS set that doesn't really change a lot. Like, to go from where, in what I grew up with, it was like, right, you got a new Doctor, you get a new TARDIS interior.
Yeah.
Like, that's just part of, but it's sort of been a little bit weird for me to get used to having this set. I know there was previous sets, but this is the one that stuck around longest, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, PJ, in the chat.
Hello.
Right, I can hear someone's TV.
So I'm muted and everything.
You just need to turn it down.
See, I do like this moment because does she show any other moments of like having a good instinct to how to use the TARDIS? Because she basically thinks, oh, I know planes. It looks like what you'd press to communicate with the captain. Does she show any other moments? Because I did like that moment just there.
Yeah.
I like that scene when somebody sees the interior for the first time. I do like that. The reaction.
It's getting darker and darker as they go along.
Yeah. The master. We can't go back now.
Da, da, da.
And he comes out the back.
Yeah.
Ah, good morning. Which vehicle? No. It isn't easy to explain.
And he's like, And if a young boy comes out, ignore that.
Shoot.
In very bright outfit, nothing.
So he did escape from truck. I do like that, the fact that the TARDIS corridors all look the same and the roundels are all the same and all that. I like that consistency with the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually seeing their rooms, which you saw a lot
Yeah.
more in the Davidson era. That's coming next.
Oh, two dolls in the back of a car.
Yeah. All matter compressed. Goodbye, Auntie.
I used to love watching the closing titles when I was a boy.
Yeah, me too.
You know, when I was about 3 or 4 year old, I would love to watch the titles.
Those all hopped up on sugar now.
Because I remember watching Doctor Who, and then it was Heidi High.
Yeah.
I hated Heidi High.
Yeah, I preferred the Low myself. Heidi High was a lot of bollocks.
Yeah.
But I know people did like that show, but I couldn't stand them. And
What's that?
they all annoying twats.
Yeah.
Executive producer, director, who gives a crapper?
Boom.
See, I like that, the whiteout at the end of the star.
The big
I
boom.
think that's quite good. But
Right, hopefully this is part 2 and I don't have to go hunting for it.
No, it should be the next one, mate. If you press the next one, like on the.
Yeah, it is. Right. Guys, are we ready? Are we ready to rumble?
Press 1.
Press 1. We're ready. For anybody that's just joined us, we're on the second episode now. Yeah, I loved Buck Rogers. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, on BBC Two, I remember watching it on.
Yeah.
It was on.
Buck Rogers, yeah, fantastic. Love that.
Yeah. Right, we got wands all over the shop. So,
Juan, says Rob Phillips.
Oh, D.D. Smith has a question. Okay, go ahead. One.
Juan.
Two.
Go on.
Go on. You will. Father.
Number 9.
Cup of tea.
Number 9.
Royce, go on, ask your question so we can start, because we like to keep it to the blah, blah, blah. So whatever your question is, fire away. Because everybody is ready to go. Baby, I'm ready to go.
I met her.
You shout it out.
I met her at a Bauhaus concert.
Yeah.
I had black and red hair extensions, and she had black and red hair, so she smiled at me. I smiled. Back in the goth days. There you go. You got your question there.
Yeah, and just ignore it. Let's just start the episode.
Oh.
Are we ready?
Yeah, we are. Go for it.
Yeah, we're ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go. Young da dun da 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 young da dun.
I always thought the title sequence was mesmerising with all the stars.
I can hear somebody's flying in the background.
Yeah, I can hear someone's music in the background, folks. Actually, come on. You know the rules.
Can you still hear it?
It's not me.
It's not me.
I'm muted, I'm checking.
And it's not me because I'm watching it on my PlayStation and I've got me headphones in my controller, so it's definitely not me. You cannot hear.
But I've got both my laptop and the site muted, so I don't know how it could be me.
I'm quite a distance from the TV, and my microphone will not pick it up.
I'll move my laptop more in case it's that.
Now, how can his backside be soaking? I mean,
Anthony Ainley might have been on set. I don't know. Just say.
I love how they could have got him and they just let the Doctor just leg it.
Adric was useful for it.
Come on now, sir. Get a key.
See, that's what I'm missing, Doctor Who now. You know, all this techo babble stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but when he explains it, then you kind of, oh yeah. Even though, like, you don't even know half of these words mean.
You see, there's no need to shout.
Remember, folks, we don't acknowledge the old little sad individuals, so just leave it. It's being dealt with. So just enjoy the classic story. That's what we're here for. Oh, and in answer to your question, anyway, no, I don't fall asleep crying anyway. The time the children, don't be fucking stupid. I only cried that one time when I watched it. But if you have a problem with that, well, then I quite frankly don't give a fuck.
Oh, you don't owe an explanation to a
Exactly.
sociopath, so
exactly.
forget it.
So, yeah. But thanks for popping in to say hello and giving us a view anyway, you moron. There she is. Do you know what? It's the only story where she's not an annoying twat in it.
I was gonna say, to be fair, in this one she's not that bad. Like,
no, she's not actually, because she hasn't opened her gob that much.
Yeah.
She keeps her gob closed. She's grand. As soon as she opens her gob, she's just moaning all the time.
But no, I don't think it's that. I like the idea of also her being trapped in there. And that moment when she sees them, it gives credits where it's due for. Who's the actress for her again? I get mixed up. Is it Janet Fielding?
Yeah, that's isn't it? I don't know. Yeah.
Like, to give her credit when she sort of says, I want to see the captain, like, you can tell she's really, like, messed up
Yeah.
for being in the TARDIS for that long.
The master must have had a second TARDIS. Yeah, I did have a second TARDIS hidden away. You got a problem with that, Doctor? Yeah. By the way, if you ever want to know what I'd look like as the master, Lee was very kind to do that face thing, app yoke thing, and put my face instead of Ainsley. It was Ainsley's master, was it? All right, everybody's ignoring. Hello.
Oh, well, only Lee can answer you.
What?
I see nothing. Forget about
I was engrossed. Sorry.
Well, stay engrossed. Get away. Not your friend anymore.
Sorry, it's either Noel or Tom Baker. Mm.
Yeah.
Materialize the TARDIS underwater.
Open the door.
Open the door. I think Tom Baker's voice sounds a little bit different when he met Lalla Ward. He became more like he had this kind of poshness he was developing.
Well, I think he always had that.
Yeah.
EastEnders. Do.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, because I always find it funny that technically the two Scouse doctors we got in Tom and McGann,
Yeah.
that they're the most refined, like classical sounding doctors, and they're from Liverpool.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
Yeah, I know she doesn't really moan in the first story either, but I just don't like her as a companion. Never have and never will. So. His face went, yes. Yeah, it is too much. Oh.
We must have touched bottom.
I think Adric knows all about that.
I wouldn't go in there if I were you.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you even open you stupid? You hear someone laughing sinisterly like that, and the first thing you say is, "Who's that? Who's that?"
It's a bit kind of dumb.
That's why I put on the dumb voice. Matthew Pounder, Adric needs to find out if he can swim.
Tom just pushes him.
Yeah.
But look at Tom's scarf. It's in a different position.
Yeah.
As when he came out the door.
Oh, I didn't know that disaster. Liz Sladen was from Liverpool. God, you wouldn't know by her
Wow.
accent either, then, would you?
No, I never knew that Liz was from Liverpool.
So,
Tegan
Scouts.
was the only decent companion of this lot, says Lee Halford. Yeah. I don't know. See, I did like Adric. I don't know why he gets stick. I liked Adric, and I liked yeah. Adric's the only one I liked. I didn't like any of the girls, actually.
I like Nissa on Big Finish with Davidson. I really do like.
I don't think she can act on audio. I think she just sounds. She's not capable of reading the script, sight reading.
Yeah.
She comes across very wooden, I think, on audio.
Right.
I never particularly thought she was an exciting companion. I liked Tegan. I did like Tegan back in the day.
and he looks directly at the camera. Was that him talking to the audience directly there? Because he looked directly into the camera and gave that line.
I
No,
think he was
it's-
supposed to meaning to do that to Adric. Nothing like this has ever happened before.
Yeah, but knowing Tom, he probably was like, "That's a good line for the audience."
Yeah.
He did do a few of those, didn't
He did. He
It was
did. He
Tom.
broke the wall. He broke the fourth wall, didn't he, a few times?
he? Yeah.
He had a
It
habit.
was
of doing that.
actually Hartnell that broke the fourth wall, because when it was the Feast of Stephen, the Christmas Day special,
Yeah.
he just turned around to the camera and says, "A Merry Christmas to all viewers at home."
So it does make you think, though, what is he saying to him? Like, what would the conversation be?
He said, "All right, man. What's the story? All right. What's the story? Yeah,
I think
you're
it could
looking
be a
bit pale
telepathic
there.
message.
Yeah, you're looking a bit red there, mate. What's the story? Yeah. They're just having this shit conversation. He's probably up there saying, "Yeah, I'm leaving this show now. I've been here a long time. This has become an absolute joke now. I just can't wait for this to be over. So how are you, pal? And look what they dressed you up as. This is going to be the highlight of your career, mate." Oh, for God's sake, woman. Pull
I know,
yourself,
come on, you got
She's
to
a
feel
bit
for
of a
her here.
snowflake.
pull
She always
yourself
goes into
together.
meltdown.
Look, now she runs away.
Yeah. You must be prepared for the worst.
Uh-oh. So Tom knows he's going to his death.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I got from watching this. After the bridge conversation, he's basically knows he's dead man walking almost. That's the way Tom plays it anyway.
In the ordinary way, yes.
A chain of circumstances that fragments the law that holds the universe together.
Oh, there's the big dish. Remember, Jodie fell out of the TARDIS and survived. Tom just like falls off.
Yeah, right.
Just want to point that out because
Yeah, she falls through a metal train ceiling roof, out of sheet metal and wires and all the rest of it that goes along
I love that look that they give Tegan then.
with it.
Yeah.
It's just utter like, are you gonna say something or am I?
What did I miss? We're on the second part. Oh.
Now the set of Logopolis looks okay here, but when you see the false rocks and all that, I mean that kind of looks a bit kind of fake in the background.
It looks like tarpaulin, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like a kind of painting in the background.
Canvas, painted canvas.
Who is she? Where does she come from? What are we going to do with her?
Oh, his face. He's like, his eyes are like,
Your
ooh,
aunt?
so shrill.
Woman in the white hat, red sports car? Well, a little of her. That settles it. She's got to come with us.
I love that line.
It's just Tom's kind of way of making it a bit jokey.
Oh. So that tree, if I'm
And
correct,
no one noticed, Yeah, that makes sense.
The way you said it to her,
Logopolis.
as if she knows where Logopolis is. Like,
I love how they're all carrying an abacus.
Yeah, they're sort
Yeah.
of like computer monks, aren't they? Okay, you lot will probably laugh at me now. I didn't know if this guy, the monitor, is he called? I didn't know if that was the master, because I think the actor has a bit of a look. I was like, is that the master disguised?
You know, for years I used to think that was Noel Edmonds. But later I found out it wasn't. It does look a bit like Noel Edmonds.
I can see Noel, actually.
Tinker's taking this rather calmly, isn't she? Yeah, very Earth 1980.
yeah.
Yeah. Love the old printer.
Yeah. Oh, it's futuristic.
Yeah.
Nobody noticed the tree.
Right.
Oh, now it's just changed.
A Greek pillar. Yeah, that was actually a hired prop for the show. They borrowed it.
Yeah.
Tom trying to be serious there. I like the Logopolitans being mathematicians and that.
Mm.
There's Jodrell Bank.
Yeah.
Very obviously what this was modelled after.
I'd like to go into Jodrell Bank, but I passed it going on the road back to Blackpool.
You're not missing much, mate.
No. I saw the dish.
So basically, what happens is if you kill one of these people, you basically fuck up the whole
Universe.
the whole process, basically.
But what the Logopolitans are trying to do, they're trying to hold the universe into basic harmony because of the entropy. Because of the entropy field that is basically destroying the universe. They're trying to hold that back. It's basically the big crunch moment for that comes at the end of the universe. They're trying to hold it off.
Yeah, and if you sort of think then about Meta sort of in connection to Tom leaving, does make you think it's almost like the program knew that he's been there for 7 years, he was sort of the king, it's going to be hard for people to sort of get used to a new face, so it's almost like even stories sort of saying change is inevitable, it's always going to happen, you can try and fight it but you'll lose. What have they got her in, Nissa?
It's like a kind of
Disney-
fairy outfit.
Yeah, it's like a Disney princess reject, really.
Yeah.
She's even got like the little crown on top of her head, and it's just like, oh, what have they got
Yeah.
you wearing, love? But then if you put her next to the other two, she doesn't look that bad.
But the doctor is in there.
Woo 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 woo.
There we go. Miniature TARDIS beating the Capaldi's doctor by
Yeah, but in fairness, the Capaldi episode was deadly though. That was a great episode.
Yeah.
That was a good story, actually. And I did like the mini little TARDIS in that as well. I do like when they make a miniature TARDIS, actually.
bam 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 bam.
I thought it was funny in the tunnel where his hand came out the TARDIS and he was dragging the TARDIS.
Yeah, with the
along.
train. That was funny.
Yeah.
How did you get here, Nissa? The scriptwriter just wanted me here, says Shane.
It does have the feel of a very expensive show. That's what I think about the early 80s titles. They've got some kind of quality to them.
No, yeah, I agree with you. It looked like, it's like if you watch these titles, you say, oh yeah, the quality of this show must be great. I agree. I like these titles.
Right.
Right, I'm just waiting for the other part to load up, so just bear with me. And then we'll get going on the next.
Installment. This thrilling adventure through time.
Thrilling. Right. When Queen Charlotte is absolutely ready, guess you can go ahead, I guess.
Don't you want to get everyone one?
Everybody's already on the ball. Watch this. This is how good they are. Is everybody in the chat ready? Please press 1.
We'll get a whole flood of ones now.
Watch this.
Wow.
This is how good they are.
It's like Pavlov's dog, isn't it?
Okay, maybe not.
Yeah, right. He spoke to everyone's like, no, I'm on strike. Fuck this.
Everybody press 1.
It's showing all of a sudden they all come at once. There we go.
Here we go. We're a little bit too early. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
And we're off.
Yangadanga, yangadanga, Dang.
Oh, our special guest has popped in. Oh, didn't see him. Here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Balstrick.
Hi.
Hey.
I just figured I'd pop in and say, hey, I see you just started an episode.
Yeah, we're on the third one, mate. We're on the third one.
That's exciting. And I come in and somebody leaves.
The Balstrick effect.
So how is everyone while we're watching this?
Good,
Yeah,
we've missed you.
Good. All quiet, which is good. You? It's been a while since anybody's heard from you. I know you've been super busy. How are you?
Oh, I am semi-retired from YouTube. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's much less stressful, no bullshit. And I only make videos when I feel like it, or pop in to say hi to people when I feel like it. So, yeah.
We are honored.
So I figured for old time's sake, I'd come see what's up. So let's see. Oh, people said hi. Hello, Shane. And hello, Enigmatic Joker. Hello, Disaster Area.
The size of that TARDIS.
I want that prop badly.
Okay, so I'm just going into it. So I'm part 3. What timestamp?
We just literally started, so they're carrying the TARDIS now after it's shrunk. So
what's the time?
Well, I'm watching it on. So I'm not watching it on DVD. So
I'm on 155.
155. Okay.
2.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's me, so me and Noel aren't too far behind you.
Okay, I'm at 208.
Yeah, the master is they're just at the showing the master space just there now.
There's Adric's mug.
Yeah, saying Doctor, and then there's I
love Tom's face. He's like, oh, okay.
Holy shit! I'm tripping balls.
Yeah, that's basically what he looks like, doesn't it?
First time I saw the story, I found it to be so trippy.
Yeah.
And depressing. I love the impending sense of doom throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, right from the beginning as well. There's no escaping it. But when I watched this when I was, 6, 7 years old, I had no idea this was going to be the end. And it traumatized me.
It was the same here, too. I'm like, who's this? And
Imposter.
Peter Davison wasn't blonde at the end of this. Who is this brown-haired guy?
Yeah. Yeah, it took me a while. I kept expecting Tom to come back, I thought this is just a temporary thing, right?
Yeah, Tom's just having an holiday, and he'll come back.
Yeah, it's part of the story, and then they'll change back.
I always thought these people have really boring jobs.
And they've got abacuses as well.
Yeah, I found that kind of funny in its consistency or inconsistency with a math society.
Yeah, well, I suppose if you think about the whole idea of computers and how the doctor said, they don't use them, and that's like a pride issue with them, and then you find out that the monitor was actually using a computer, so it's almost like there's a bit of a mini debate in the episode about tech versus like natural methods. I don't know what term you'd use.
Brain power?
Yeah, it's like which one's better almost. They almost are trying to show a bit.
I kind of want that prop. Notice the block where the lamp is gone.
Oh. Maybe it shrunk.
Yeah, it must have done. And all the weathering is gone.
Enigmatic Joker says Tom Baker is very sad in this episode. Yes, he was actually, because he couldn't do it anymore, but he was worried that he was making a huge mistake. He was actually ill throughout most of the season, which is probably one thing a lot of people don't know.
Was he?
Yep. You notice how the weight loss, and he suddenly started looking a lot older beyond the makeup.
Oh, that's why. All right, because someone did reference that earlier on. Or being married to Layla Ward, you can see that it's aged
taking
him,
its toll.
Well, he was under a lot of stress because if you look at, say, Horns of the Naimon or Shada, and then compare it to anything in this series, he looks 15 years older. And he was stressed out because he knew he was leaving the role. He didn't know what he was doing. They never really said what his illness was, but he was worried he was terminally ill, which obviously he wasn't. And his marriage was turbulent.
Are they wearing like black and yellowy orange?
Gold,
maybe they're super straight. That must be super straight. They
It's a Logopolis action figure.
Still better than the dapple ones, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And hello, Matthew Pounder. Hello, Jewel Sherwood. Hello, Lord Thoth. Hello, PJ Maybe. And hello, Rob Fellows.
Can I just say, I love the names we have in our chat. Because somebody just like names them off. It's I love them. Just so random.
They're just staring that would scare the crap out of me.
Yeah, the old fish islands, not very flattering. Gotta give Tegan her credit though. She came sort of onto another planet. She just went straight into it, you know.
Yeah, true. I have to be honest, compared to most companions' reactions, hers has been pretty calm all the way through.
Level-headed.
Right. Like she's basically on a different planet but hasn't really reacted to it.
Yeah. She's probably still in shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tegan comes across as the type of person who has to have action to distract herself to make like doing something.
Yeah.
You know, the Doctor is holding back that he knows what happened to her Aunt Vanessa.
And
he's just holding back till last minute. Parts from television, is that?
Oh, I was gone for a second. Enigmatic Joker said the couple married in December 1980, but the marriage only lasted 16 months. That is correct. They weren't actually married yet while this season was filming, but they were together during the season, and apparently in State of Decay.
Very good.
Their fighting was so impassioned that they scared the shit out of the entire crew. They wouldn't talk to each other for the entire episode, and everybody was afraid to talk to either of them.
That was a bit of fun set.
Apparently it was horrible because Tom had always been hard to work with, but if you watch any of the documentaries, he was an absolute nightmare and an asshole.
Yeah.
Filming the series. There's an outtake from the Leisure Hive where they're talking about filming, and you can actually see it. It's in the DVD documentary. He gets mad and basically just throws the mask, like, get on with it.
I've seen Pertwee as well, actually. Pertwee can get very touchy as well. I remember someone was in his eye line, and he gives out, tells them to stop moving. Could you stop moving about there? I'm trying to Like, yeah, it's
Well,
good
if
when
you
you
think
see
about
that side of them, though.
how long the hours were and how long the series,
Yeah.
the seasons were, so much filming had to be done. I mean, highly stressful.
Yeah, but you could tell
Yeah.
that it meant something to them because, like, if they were look, you can criticize. Bill was a bit of an asshole as well, you know. And look at how great his doctor is. I do honestly believe that some people like that, great people like that, not all, but most of them are difficult personality wise, you know, and they can be difficult to work with, but they produce some of the greatest work you'll ever see. You know, I mean, Tom is the definitive doctor for a reason, you know, and if he didn't have that side of him, I don't think he would be. So I
Yeah.
think you need that edge. I think some actors, you know, that's the way they are. It doesn't help marrying your co-star, obviously.
No.
I was
But
going to say that is
who was-
inviting.
that is inviting trouble because if that
Well, she
doesn't
was,
work, then you're
she was
leaving
what?
it.
25 years younger than him. I have to look up her age. I think she's like 25 or something.
Yeah, how did that even come about, man? That's
She started on the show. Tom made googly eyes, and then awkwardness happened. Okay,
Oh.
she's 69. I believe he's 89. Okay, she's 20 years younger than him.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently now, whoever Tom's married to now, or if he's still married,
Oh no, he is.
he
Yes,
won't.
he is. He's married to a woman called Sue Gerard.
Right. Well, his missus won't let him because obviously now there's that relationship between those two has obviously improved and they get on with each other and they were supposed to be doing audio together, but they're not allowed to be even in the same room or something. I read. But
No,
why-
they do audios together, but they record separately.
Yeah, they're
Even
not.
before
Yeah.
lockdown. They've never been in the same studio together. They called them in on separate days.
Huh?
Yeah, and I think it's something to do with his new wife or his wife that he's married to. Doesn't want that. She doesn't want them anywhere. But man, that's a bit unfair.
I don't think she likes Lala very much. Well, given that I guess she was kind of the rebound wife from that one. Kind of makes sense. Although he's been married to her for God, I think almost.
I know you think water under the bridge. That was an old relationship. Get over it, love. You know.
So if you're that controlling or possessive, I think that means you think there's something like more than there is.
I don't know. Tom comes across as very vulnerable now. You know, he's an old man.
Yeah.
You know, we all still care for him. I mean, you could see, when he was talking about Liz Sladen there in that doco. I mean, he had us all in tears. I mean,
that's a heartbreaking documentary.
Yeah,
that's also, I'd say, by far the best documentary I've ever seen. But there's also there's one on John Pertwee and the Spearhead from Space Blu-ray. Which is also really good.
But I agree. It's something else, that doco. I love watching all the the DVDs that I have, the classic, and watching all the interviews because you can clearly tell through each era, there was tension, because they were so under pressure all the time that some of these people that were working on the show would snap, and
reference JNT and Eric Sayward. That's why they couldn't use Robert Holmes's script for the end of The Ultimate Foe, because Sayward held the rights and he told JNT to go fuck himself, and that's why Pip and Jane Baker ended up writing it. I think that's the worst the tension ever got.
Well, just to do with timings and everything, famously they could only film till about 10, couldn't they? Literally the lights went off. And I've heard multiple classic doctors say, everybody knew that, so it was a mad dash nearly every end of the shoot, basically, because we knew we didn't have it in the can by 10. It was basically opportunity was lost.
And
that happened with the regeneration sequence at the end of this. It was the last thing filmed. It was only a few minutes to 10. The makeup and stuff wasn't working. They were doing blue screen transition effects, which were actually, a big deal for the time. They had the outgoing doctor and the incoming doctor on the same set. They wouldn't acknowledge each other, and they had to get the regeneration scene filmed. And apparently they finished it at like 20 seconds to 10.
That's funny, when you think about how many times we keep hearing that about regeneration scenes, that the incumbent doctor and the newcomer never seem to exchange words with each other. It's funny.
See,
well,
I
think it's very personal. They're not even done at the same time. The Eccleston Tennant regeneration was filmed 6 months apart.
Yeah, you're right, because Christopher Eccleston didn't know he was actually being fucking replaced at the time. Fucking ridiculous.
Although Colin Baker's regeneration was pretty simple, he wasn't there, so there wasn't.
I was going to say, he said, "I'm not coming."
Yeah, I think his words were something like "get fucked" or something like that.
See, you knew, I suppose we haven't had that problem, have we? Every doctor that's left, it was their time to go. So when the new one came in, there wasn't a big deal made of it. I can understand Tom's trepidation seeing this young lad, Peter Davison, coming in. Even though he'd made the decision, as Ballstreck said, that he was going to leave, he was still very, he cared about Doctor Who. He could say whatever he said over the years after leaving, when he was fed up and he wouldn't go to the conventions and all that. But you could see now, and he talks about it now, he even talked about regret. He has a lot of regrets when it comes to Doctor Who and after the fact. So, I mean, look, for a while I held that against him, as you know. I held that against him. Of course I did. I mean, I said, how dare you think you're better, even though he was better than the rest of them, but how dare you think that you're above everybody else that's been on this show? This show made you. How dare you not embrace it? That sort of way. But when I start buying the DVDs and I start watching the interviews, and then when he started being part of stuff, and I was hearing his point of view, I kind of understood where he was coming from. It's just at the time you don't understand the person's decision to leave.
Yeah,
he was in the role a long time as well. And
he wanted Tom Baker, and you can understand why he wanted nothing to do with the character after he'd left the show. That's why he didn't do the 5 Doctors, and that's why even when Big Finish came along, I remember when it was first announced that Big Finish were doing audios, and then it was revealed that Tom Baker would be the only currently living Doctor that wouldn't be involved. Oh crap! And no, he didn't do Big Finish or any audios for, God, it was 15 years, I think. Or 14 years.
He regretted it.
Yeah. And then he did the it was the charity for Dimensions in Time for was it Children in Need?
Children in Need, yeah.
Well, it was meant to be the Dark Dimensions, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually, it started off as a movie and then eventually kind of degenerated into what we saw.
Yeah. No, right.
Tom wouldn't do conventions till Pertwee died, says Disaster Area. I mean, I don't know if you can actually prove that, but I don't know, man. Would you?
No, he did do. I don't know if that's the reason, but I know he didn't do conventions.
But look, that's what I'm saying. Sorry, Ted. He's all. See, Cheryl's bringing him out, so he knows he's being brought out. What you call it? But the thing about it is, when I saw that interview, and when Nicholas Briggs was interviewing him, and he did talk about regret, I mean, you could clearly see that he does regret all the decisions that he made. Yeah. I'm glad he's embraced it, and as long as he's around, we're lucky to have him still, especially nowadays. But we're lucky to have him. And, while he's around, we should,
Yeah. Yeah, and Matthew Pounder reminds us, he would only do BBC audios to start with. That's right. He did one in, the first one was, I think, 2010. The Hornets something. Wow. I've heard it.
Wow.
But I think with Tom, it's almost, if we think about like another big character in sci-fi with Luke Skywalker, and you think about Hamill and sort of, he struggled, you could tell after Luke, but he got lucky that he fell into voice work, and he got just as famous for doing the Joker in the Batman animated stuff. But I think it's that same thing of they were both such iconic characters that afterwards they were both sort of, what do I do now? But like I said, Hamill got a bit luckier because he he didn't fall into voice acting, but he managed to make just as much as a career as a voice actor as he did as an on-screen actor, basically.
It's it's kind of funny because some doctors had were transitioned to something else. Some were always stuck. Well, Hartnell couldn't really do much afterwards because he was ill.
Yeah.
Troughton went on to other things, but he was a character actor, and he's the only doctor other than Capaldi that actually wasn't playing himself. Pertwee had Wurzel Gummidge. Tom Baker had his voice work. Peter Davison has done God knows how many shows since Doctor Who.
Yeah, he did All Teachers Great and Small, which we grew up.
All Teachers Great and Small, The Last Detective.
Well, he did All Creatures before.
Yeah, before Doctor Who, but
that's how he got the Doctor Who job.
Yeah, I grew up watching.
I don't think Colin Baker, I think, had bit parts. Sylvester McCoy.
Well, he's went on to do Sylvester McCoy. I mean,
he did. Well, he was in a certain successful trilogy. I wonder what was that called again. He did fine. Christopher Eccleston, to be honest, kind of faded after Doctor Who. He's been in a lot of shows, but never made an impact.
Well, he did go over to America because he was blacklisted here, and he did do that G.I. Joe movie. But the script was so bad that you could even, if you watch that movie, I was even saying it the other night, you could tell that he wasn't interested. He was just reading the lines off the script. He just knew it was that bad. That first G.I. Joe movie.
Well, he was on a couple different TV series here, and I think they were all one-season cancellations. Then you have David Tennant, who's done everything since Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, his second most popular role has to do with Chibs. I kind of feel bad for Matt Smith.
Yeah.
Because he's like, Karen Gillan is massive, and he's just kind of disappeared.
And in fairness, he has been in a lot of big franchises, but again, he was in the Terminator franchise, and he was supposed to be Terminator Genesis or Gen Z was popular. They were going to do another one again, but he ended up on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, he's only in there for
a British movie. He was cut from that completely. He has been in The Crown, so I think he's on the bounce again. But he didn't have the career that he wanted.
That's the problem. But not really a problem, but it's so bad for him, and he hasn't matched Karen Gillan. Then you have Capaldi, who is in a certain upcoming movie that's either going to be awesome or be a complete disaster. But given that this is current DC Warner,
well, I have to be honest. The trailers that I've watched, and I've watched them all now, I reacted to one. I have to be honest. I don't know what the hype is about this movie.
Because it's directed by James Gunn.
I'm not going to judge the trailers on the trailers, because right now every trailer that I've seen, the one thing that stands out for me is that every single one of them, except for Harley Quinn, annoys me character-wise. And there wasn't enough Peter Capaldi. That annoyed me as well. And then I watched the Red Band trailer. He had Peter Capaldi narrating, and then they had him at the end of the trailer. But again, that trailer annoyed me. The characters in it just annoy me. I don't know. Harley Quinn looks the most interesting one and the only one I'm looking forward to seeing in it. But even again, I even said, what's the problem with putting her in Harley Quinn clothes? Like, she's in this bloody red dress again. Like, why can't...
Birds of Prey ruined Harley Quinn.
I mean, I just don't get it. Like, why take the role? You paid millions if you're not going to play... It's a comic book character, so wear the clothes that the character is supposed to wear, or don't play the character at all. That's where I stand. But right now, 3 trailers I've seen, and I'm not impressed. I hope the movie is actually better than what the trailers have shown. It could be deliberate, by the way. I found them boring I found them boring, to be honest. I was looking forward to this movie, but now I'm not sure. I'll tell you what, right? I'm more excited for the Batman movie, and I know that one's it has an awful lot of controversy behind it, but I'm actually looking forward to that more after seeing that trailer compared to seeing 3 trailers to the Suicide Squad. That's where I stand. Can't believe I'm saying that. Because I was actually looking forward, because they screwed up the first Suicide Squad movie. So I thought, yes, James Gunn, this is going to be good. Peter Capaldi, and are going to be good. But 3 trailers in, I'm not impressed. I'm not. And I don't know whether I'm being too harsh, but every single one. And John Cena, is that John Cena? Yeah, he just wrecks me head. I'm sorry. It's not my cup of tea, looks like. So, yeah, but I'll give it a go anyway. But there you go. Right. Let's get on with the next episode. So, Charlotte, because I do see a few ones already in the chat, but just let us know if you're ready. We'll get the last part now.
I'm ready when everybody else wants us to go.
Yeah, that was episode 3 done. Yeah. Interesting. I do like this story.
Yeah, it's a good story.
Mm-hmm. Just think, part 4, how depressed everybody was going into this in 1981, knowing what was going to happen.
I didn't know what was going to happen. I was nearly 7 years old, and this was a complete shock to me.
Yeah, Lee was saying it earlier. Lee didn't know this was coming, man. He was devastated.
Oh, neither did I.
Trauma. Post Tom stress disorder.
I had that reaction as well because I actually thought Christopher Eccleston was going to stay for 3 seasons. And then when they announced that he was leaving, I was actually gutted. I have to be honest. I still say it to this day. I would have loved him to see another season or 2 of his, but then we wouldn't have got David Tennant, and obviously the show probably wouldn't have went on the same trajectory as it did go on. But I still would have loved to see another season or 2 of Eccleston. I hope there's a way now that he's doing Big Finish. Now, I'm not going to say because he's doing Big Finish all of a sudden he's going to come back for the film for the series. But wouldn't it be great to have him in the 60th? That's all I'm just going to say.
No.
Not under Chibby's, right? Under someone else, but we won't get into it. But all I'm just saying is, if it wasn't under Chibby's and a new direction, I wouldn't mind Christopher Eccleston back.
Eccleston was in the talk show Lorraine. That's Lorraine Kelly. It was a kind of video call he was doing, and they said any return to the show would be when hell freezes over.
Okay,
good. He doesn't want anything to do with it.
I understand why.
He actually said that when hell freezes over?
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's harsh. Right, do the countdown before I cry.
I believe he's doing Big Finish as a favor to Nicholas Briggs, because I think Briggs was the only person on that production that he didn't want to kill near the end.
But he wouldn't, because think about it. They were in that scene together in Dalek, right, where he's gets locked in the room, and then the doctor realizes it's a Dalek, and he tries to escape. There was a few allies he actually had. There was a director as well that he liked. I don't know if it was Graham. Was it Graham Harper?
Oh, no, they had it out. You don't like Graham.
No, not Graham. It was the other director. Ahern. What's his name?
Joe Ahern.
Yeah.
That didn't come back.
Because when Moffat was trying to get him back for the 50th, he wanted a certain director to direct it. But of course, we know who ended up directing it. But because that particular director was directing it, he wanted nothing to do with it. So there have been chances of him coming back. But if he said when hell freezes over, we can forget about that now. Right, Charlotte, go on before I cry, because I was really looking forward to it. the Christopher Eccleston.
Never say never. That's the golden
We'll
rule.
see. Right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
I'm bald. It's a thing I do because you haven't been here since, and it just.
No, I think I was there the night you debuted that.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Paul's is probably thinking, what on earth?
Oh no, I know the reference.
Best title sequence, Doctor Who's history.
The best one was the one before this.
Really?
Yeah, that one's,
I like the Hartnell one, and I quite like this one. This one was completely done by a black card and a lens right down to it, and shot frame by frame with light shooting through pinholes.
Oh.
Yeah, there's they have a on the DVD. Well, it's on the Blu-ray too. They've got a documentary, one on how they how Al redid the theme, and one on how they did the visuals for it. Actually, no, I think they're in the same documentary.
Yeah, the theme tune was done using vocoder.
Yeah,
using the voice.
Yeah.
Oh, and also on the music, has nobody mentioned how good the soundtrack is for this yet? This episode, like this whole story, it's sort of very sympathy, but like still spooky. It's odd. I don't know how they managed it for this story. The sound designers.
Any leaves are there? You little shit. Oh, fake rocks. Watch them. Watch those fake rocks. We do like the fake rocks. I remember
what they actually are is polystyrene painted.
Remember
It wouldn't be Doctor Who without polystyrene.
Yeah, look at how easy he moves them.
Do you remember the movie with Charlton Heston, Earthquake? There was a lot of fake rocks in that one.
Yeah.
Love that movie though. That's a great movie.
To me, it doesn't spoil it in any way. Being fake, well, it still adds to the enjoyment of the
That's
episode.
part of its charm, isn't it?
I don't know. Things like that never bother me with classic Who. It doesn't bother me with classic Star Trek either.
No, I mean, look, because it was still good. The writing was still good. The acting in it, like some of the acting, even because I've obviously when I don't know if it's still on it, but I watched the original series of Star Trek again on Netflix, and they had the updated special effects and all. And I was watching it, and listen, there are some episodes where the acting is so bad, but the story is so engaging, and what's happening in it is just like keeps you. You forget all of that. You forget about shaky sets and crappy makeup and all of that because the stories are good.
Yeah.
Now it's the opposite. Some I wouldn't even say the monsters now have great makeup, but
That era of Doctor Who doesn't exist. It's not in my brain, dude.
Sorry, I was late. I was watching the Celtic game. Did you just win, Daniel?
I have learned how to enjoy Doctor Who again.
Good.
I now look at it completely as it ends in 2017,
Good.
and everything that came after doesn't exist.
Good.
Good.
I'm glad you're enjoying it again.
Oh, in the case of me and Daniel, the 13th Doctor is a ginger, and it's on YouTube.
No, to me the TARDIS blew up in the end of time. The Twice Upon a Time, and that's how it finished for me.
They won 3-0. Well done. That'll put a smile on Daniel's face. The international legend.
Actually, the chenille wool scarf that Tom Baker's wearing now is a lot lighter than the woolen ones he wore.
Mm-hmm.
I like that scarf though as well.
He actually likes the coat and the scarf, but he didn't like the question mark shirt.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he really liked the costume designer because the costume designer had a good relationship with him. June Hudson, she designed that that scarf and the. You actually can find June's work online. I think she's got a website.
Yeah, she did some fantastic stuff.
I think she redesigned Paul McGann's costume. She done something for that, and she done variations of Tom Baker's costumes as well, and other Doctors' costumes.
So what was she? Did she then design it for the minisode? Or was
No,
she...
that was somebody else that done that.
Oh, yeah. Lift your fake rock.
Done it rather convincingly, I have to say.
And it just happened to just stand up straight.
No broken bones.
One good lift deserves another, don't you think?
But the whole concept of having them work together, I do really like that idea in this story. Because it's if you add that then to, like we said, the hint that Tom or the Doctor knows that he's not going to get out of this, it sort of explains why he would be more up for working with him as well.
Well, yeah, because he's not thinking for himself. He's clearly thinking of, well, apart from saving the fabric of time and space, is the well-being of his companions.
Yeah, and he sort of, you could...
And that's why
like,
he kind of attacks them, when he's, you're a stowaway and, all this kind of... Because he knows his time is up and he's got to think about them. So he's kind of angry that he has to, be in this situation. But he does it because it's the right thing to do and, he cares about them. So. Sorry, Karen.
Oh, no, but, it showed that when he basically said to the Monitor, look after them. It's every Doctor, and I think I've said before that they all have the different personalities and the little nuances, but there's core traits which are running through all incarnations, and I think
apart from one.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that. No, but and I do think one of those traits is very much the knowing that responsibility and the duty almost of having a companion, and whatever you feel, whether you feel terrible or angry, you have to put that to one side.
And with the change of the Doctor, it doesn't upset the balance. You know, it's still the same character. Different actor that's playing it, and it still has that connection to William Hartnell.
Yeah.
So
-1.
Yep.
Daniel says the Watcher was a cool concept.
Different, I like. That's what I miss about the old era from the news. Is the different regenerations, they're all different in their own way.
Well, Adric, of course he wants to talk to you. He's waving for you to come over. He's hardly that's not keep away from me.
It's kind of funny. Regeneration now has been used as fucking weapons lightning.
See, I've got to be honest, I remember the moment that I sort of was getting fed up with the new stuff with regenerations was the whole Tennant 2.0 Doctor we got. And I was just like, really? With the hand and that making another... I was just like, come on, guys.
Although I thought the whole lightning power jumping the shark sequence at the end of Matt Smith's was probably the most ridiculous.
Yeah.
I like that. I just thought it was so unusual. I mean, it broke the mold with the New Who thing. I thought it was more shocking.
Oh no, I'm talking about when he was redoing the regeneration energy before the regeneration, where he's using it to zap things.
Oh right, yeah, but it was ripples across,
Oh no, I loved what they did with that part where it's like, oh, he's there. Oh damn.
Yeah. I don't know how much bigger they can keep making these things. It's just I just want it to go back to being different again. Just
it is. We have old Who.
Yeah.
We have many years of Doctor Who being different.
And remember, there's still some classic stories out there to be found. So, I know we complain about the animation, but if they weren't animated, we wouldn't be able to see them complete. So,
I'm not even buying the animations right now because they're not releasing them in Region 1 on Blu-ray. The Region 2 are region free, but they cost a small fortune. I'm like, well, then they're going to be on a Blu-ray set eventually anyway, so I'll just get them then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why we're getting so many Troughton, because they want to do a Blu-ray, but like they've done for all the other classic Doctors, and I think
they want to do a box set. They want to do the big box series box set.
Yeah, but I mean, with that crappy animation of Fury from the Deep, I mean, it's not going to be long before eventually someone's going to go, well, we have to redo it again like they did with the...
They will redo it again, though. See, that's what they'll do, and they'll be a special edition fucking Yoki thing. But people will buy it, and they know people will buy it.
Yeah.
Like, isn't there different versions of Power of the Daleks?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
There is... the Blu-ray releases aren't going to be the final releases of Doctor Who because it's very, very expensive, prohibitively expensive right now. But there are experimental techniques where you can make standard definition, high definition, where it fills in the blanks.
Yeah.
And with Doctor Who, it's locked in standard definition, at least the studio sequences are, and the Lost Masters, because they're filmed on videotape. But there are ways when they become more affordable where they can make this high definition. I've seen some experiments of it. It's actually not perfect, but it's impressive.
Well, they've already announced. I don't know if you saw that. No, in the news, like to do with Who. I don't understand Blu-rays that well, but it looks like like a Baker one and a Davidson season. They're doing like standard Blu-rays of like what they've done so far for all the classic Doctors, so they already are double dipping.
Oh yeah, it's like preview discs. Well, if you look at it, a lot of people are now buying the entire series for the third time because they bought it on VHS, they bought it on DVD. Now they're buying it on Blu-ray. 4K is going to be the final physical media format, but there's tons of room when they finally do full actual HD remasters, then those will probably end up on 4K.
Daniel Leach says, I like this story. First time I saw it, though, I was steaming drunk down in Manchester with my pals. You tear away, you scallywag, you legend.
What a fun episode to watch drunk.
Yeah, tripping balls you would be.
Yeah, don't be... Well, if you're a sad drunk, this is a very bad episode to watch.
Yeah.
There we go, Dust.
Angry drunk, probably, too.
Disaster's made it sound more simple. They are re-releasing them in standard covers.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah, they're limited edition in Region 1 or Region 2. That's why they're re-releasing them, because the original ones are out of print. We don't even get the slip covers.
I know.
I
know everybody is for improving the screen quality of this, but just not think that would take away some of the charm.
Nope. Because it didn't for when Star Trek was remastered from the negative. If you look at the remasters of the Twilight Zone, which is the most impressive job I've ever seen, the original Twilight Zone, it looks like it was filmed yesterday, just in black and white. The charm is still there. The old X-Files from starting in 1993. It's high definition transfers didn't wreck the charm there. It's The Prisoner had transfers. It didn't take away the charm. So no, it's as long as you don't actually change the content, you just change the quality.
Boom chicka wow wow, boom chicka wow wow.
It now turns into a porn.
Yeah. It's like the Benny Hill show. I love the sun shining through the TARDIS windows there.
Yeah. You can see his red coat there if you looked.
Now, at this exact moment, this is when I first saw Doctor Who, when I was about 3 years old. And this is a bit I could remember of it.
Go around in circles.
And yeah, I did want that scarf when I was 3.
Guys, what was that satellite dish used for? Because that obviously they went to a real dish.
It was George Royal Bank. It was the astronomy
All right.
to pick up radio signals.
Ah, from the aliens.
Yeah.
Ah. Impressive.
Although it's kind of funny, it's still been an in-joke to this day, well, to the end of Real Doctor Who, how the Doctor, after this, always had a fear of heights.
Yeah.
Well, Tennant's Doctor didn't have any issues.
Well, it was a kind of throwaway line in the TV movie with Paul McGann. He didn't like heights.
It's it's you could tell in well, The Idiot's Lander, you can tell there's actually a little bit of trepidation there, which is kind of funny. It's subtle. Can't remember. I think there's actually a line in there too.
Oh, Disaster's just said it's not Jodrell, but it's obviously it's meant to look like that. But he's saying they didn't film there.
Old serial adapters.
Please attend carefully. The message that follows is vital to the future of you all. I love that. It's just so master. More than a humble assistant.
But this is the fun dynamic, isn't it? It's like the Doctor, you can see he's looking at him like, I know you're going to betray me. I know you're going to do it. So when are you going to show your hand? And like the Master trying to always be one step ahead of him.
What do you mean? The universe is hanging by a thread. Even a humble assistant could do it.
I love it how this is where you learn, wow, this new Master is completely bonkers.
Yeah.
Actually, I've just had a thought. If you think like Tom's doctor was quite eccentric, you could say he was almost bonkers at times.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and then the next doctor's a lot calmer, but then the
Anything-
master becomes the bonkers one. So it's almost
Mhm.
like a flip flop, isn't it?
Anybody notice that the master's holding a dildo?
I was just thinking that. I didn't want to say anything.
Sorry,
A
Nolan.
black mambo.
A tissue compression eliminator. Oh, he must have another one somewhere.
Who's feeling tense even though you know what's going to happen?
Yeah. It's still like that, even though you've watched it millions of times. It still has that kind of tense moment that,
Yeah.
you know.
This is one of those stories that never gets old.
No.
I love this scene.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
The flashbacks.
I mean, just look at Tom's face.
It's like sheer terror.
Yeah, that's what it is. Just sheer.
No.
At that point, you're like, oh shit.
And it was to be that his body was that badly broken after the fall.
Yeah, not through a plate of steel and wires like a
Yeah.
train roof or anything. From like 3, 4, 5 times higher up. Oh.
Mm.
It's the end. But the moment has been prepared for.
Terribly dubbed.
Don't care, I love this.
I love how
I didn't click. And yeah, he has got brown hair, Davidson.
Yep.
Yep. It was because John Nathan Turner insisted that Davison had to have highlights to play the Doctor. So this was just, he was cast as the Doctor, but this was just him just brought in, and they never had time to dye his hair.
I was going to say, though, he had pretty blonde hair as Tristan.
Yeah.
I've seen bits and bobs of All Creatures.
Well, actually, it doesn't matter because he's still regenerating.
Yeah, you could say then it's a bit of like Tom that's still clinging on, maybe.
Right. I suppose we might as well get everybody's rating and views on this story. I know some of you are in shock, even though you've probably seen this about 500 times, but that's what happens when we lose the Doctor. But we'll start with you, Queen Charlotte.
Thank you. I've got to be honest. There is some things I really love about this. Like I said, the dread, a very subdued Tom, a sort of that feeling of something's going to happen at the end. And the Watcher, I agree with Lee and people in the chat. I really do like that. It's something very different. We don't see it for another regeneration. That's why I think also it works so well. It's a one-time thing. Tegan, actually, I like her introduction because I like it when companions sort of don't choose to become companions. It's almost they get chucked on. I've always liked that as like a companion trope. But I do think some of the technobabble and some of the more sciencey stuff didn't quite click with me. Like those were the bits I do admit. I did not exactly zone out, but I struggled a little bit. It was more the Tom stuff and the more Doctor stuff that kept me going in this one. So I'm going to say 6 because it's still some really good bits, but I think I preferred Pertwee's final episode last week.
Okay, that's fair enough. We'll go with he's calling himself Master problem being now. Jesus, why was Emperor not good enough now? So you changed it, did you?
It's more fitting.
Right, well, okay, well, go ahead there, Master.
Well, first of all, damn you, Crown Prince Omega, for putting me through reliving my childhood trauma.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Really difficult. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not the best ending for arguably the greatest Doctor of all time ever, never to be replaced or repeated. But it's still a good story in its own right. I enjoyed it. I was engrossed. And he's always so absolutely magnetic. The Master was fantastic. It was kind of like still the early days of the Alien Master when he wasn't overtly as camp as he became, I think, during the Davison era. I like Tegan in this episode, although I think she rather took to being on an alien planet rather too quickly. But yeah, all respect to her for doing that. Nyssa was a bit of a non-entity as usual. Sorry, I know there's a few Nyssa fans out there. Adric also not completely as annoying as during the Peter Davison era. Yeah, it's nice. I like how it sort of progressed from place to place and time to time. I think the actual story was a bit odd in the sense of like the actual concept behind it. It just seemed to be like, okay, we got to create this threat to time and space, and you know the universe entropy and all this, just to do the regeneration story. But I still enjoyed it. You know, I just find it enjoyable. So I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Fantastic.
I have to deduct the points, you see, for the trauma it caused me. So.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough. Have you recovered from your trauma? Are you still seeing your...
No, that's never going to go away.
Okay.
Not until he comes back. As you know, that's why I bled Big Finish dry just to get as much of Tom Baker as possible.
Yeah. And then you had that 50th anniversary cameo.
Yeah. I mean that was what I've been waiting all those years for.
Yeah. Real Super Doctor.
I quite enjoyed this serial. I thought it was very good. I mean, but it could have been actually better. As Tom Baker said, it could have been a more heroic send off for the Fourth Doctor. But what's interesting for me is it was the first time I noticed Doctor Who. I watched the show, and for me, it holds dear in my memory. This episode, for the fact that it was the first Doctor Who episode I actually seen as a child. So I think the episode in itself, it's got a lot in it. It's very intelligently written, and it's very well conceived, and it's very well put together for the very complexities that the characters were actually dealing with us. I mean, you had the block transfer computation, you had the TARDIS dimensions and all that, going to another planet, impending doom and crisis, and at the end you've got the death of the Doctor, and you've got the rebirth into a new Doctor, which to me, to a 3-year-old, is very mesmerising, and it's very it's just like I wanted to see more of this Doctor Who, and I was very sad to see Tom Baker go, because this was the first time I've been introduced to it. But I also remember that at lunchtime before school in Pebble Mill, and I remember the new Doctor was on Pebble Mill, and I was excited to see this, so I watched it, and I can remember watching it and before I went back to school, and yeah, I love the concept that TARDIS can be within a TARDIS within a TARDIS, like it can go into infinity. I thought that was a very intelligent concept. I mean, the writer was really trying to push the boundaries towards that.
I think that was sort of channeling their sort of Douglas Adams sort of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. And of course, you had the introduction of Tegan, which her beginning was more like a confusion, to begin with. Like she was desperate to get to her work.
Get out now! You've caused me trauma.
Yeah,
joking.
She was desperate to get to her work, and she lost her Auntie Vanessa to the Master. She's been through all this trauma. She's been to an alien planet. She's been on alien spaceships. She's met aliens. I mean, how does she hold it together? I mean, she should have completely break down. With the character of Tegan, there's nothing quite realistic about it, even though that she's moaning all the time. But it's just not realistic. The psychological effects of being a companion and dealing with this, because all of this is completely out of the human concept about going to another planet and dealing with aliens and all that, and coping well with it. With Nissa, she was another kind of sad story as well. I mean, she lost her father to the Master. The Master took over her father's body, tree mass, and the Keeper at the end of the Keeper of Traken, and then Adric, he was kind of like the death of his brother. All his companions had like a trauma, and they were just like brought together in order to help this alien being, the Doctor. And they had to bring him. They kind of had to support him during the time of the crisis, the regeneration. But the point is it was okay for the first Davison's first area, but they should have just stuck with one companion with the Doctor, with Davison, and then I think his character would have developed a wee bit more. Now, I liked the fact that he was with Perry towards the end, but if they had kept the Fifth Doctor and Perry for a wee bit longer, and then regenerated the Fifth Doctor into Colin Baker, I think it would have been better. I would think the two had a wee bit more chemistry together than having Davison's Doctor having all his multiple companions around him. But yeah, this series, this episode of Logopolis, I would have to give it a 9 out of 10. because it is very well put together. It's very well conceived and contrived, and the science stuff in it is you can actually believe it. It is a suspension of disbelief. It is it is still very a good story. I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Fantastic. Ballstrick.
Hi.
Hey.
How's
It's
things?
your turn now.
Okay. The good. I love the sense of impending doom. I love Tom Baker. I love the score for this story. I like the regeneration scene. I actually do like the overarching plot. I like how they were trying to scientificify, that's a word, the show. Things that I don't like, really the companions, especially Adric. I've never been completely sold on Nyssa, especially with Tom Baker. She worked a little bit better with Peter Davison. So bad points, the companions, especially Adric. Good points, everything else. Not the best regeneration story. That still goes to Caves of Androzani, but I'd rank it second best regeneration story, and I will give it an 8.
Fantastic. 8 out of 10. Good scores tonight, guys. And the guy who actually picked this week's story, the Crown Prince Omega, would you like to give your thoughts on the story and your review, or your rating, I should say? Sorry.
Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Christopher Bidmead is a decent writer and script editor, I think. I thought it was also a decent introduction for a companion for Tegan. I know a lot of people don't like her. I'm not as down on Tegan as everybody
No,
seems to be. There's some corny stuff in this, like the deadly bracelet of death.
The polystyrene bracelet of death.
Like you couldn't just take a couple steps to the side.
Yeah, it's too small for my fucking arm. Well, move it down to your wrist. I didn't.
I'm going to control your arm to choke your friend. Whatever. That was a bit corny, but
especially with the way the master's holding his fingers over the button. It's like so. It's like that. Who with the Sonic. So overly dramatic. Yeah.
But I thought Tom was good in this. Maybe it was a little anticlimactic for some people, but he was, saving the universe and trying to save his companions and stuff. So, and the Watcher bit was novel. I like that idea too. And then the TARDIS within a TARDIS and stuff. So I like this enough to give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, cool.
Wow. Well, listen, everybody's kind of said what I think, and everybody's made some good points, and the bad points I think we can all agree on, except for I don't think Adric as bad as people make him out to be honest. I for some weird reason, I don't know what it is, but I always find myself defending poor old Adric.
We shall agree to disagree.
He gets an awful lot of stick. But listen, come here for a minute, right? He gets the most horrific companion death ever. So I think he does
because we all wanted him dead.
A bit of a reprieve. Come on. So with that said, I'm going to give it a 8.5 out of 10. Because look, everybody's made the points that I would have made about the good about this. I do like the concept of TARDIS within the TARDIS, and they tried to make it more sciencey. That's what I want, though. That's the way I'd like Doctor Who to be now. All that science gobbledygook, I don't understand it, but once you make it look, once you put it on the screen and it makes sense to me while I'm watching, then I'm down for it. So, I would love more of that.
Enigmatic Joker says Adric was the blueprint for the companions he hasn't run. I think that's an insult to Adric.
Yeah, definitely. Adric is not as bad as those, but that doesn't exist. Remember, Ballstrick is here.
And I fucking hate Adric.
Yes. Oh, and today marks 11 years since the 11th Doctor in the 11th hour.
Yeah.
And as a certain YouTuber noted, Another reminder of how far this love show has sunk since. How's it sunk? The show's been gone for 4 years, man. It's fine. It's good.
Yeah, in our little bubbled universe where nothing happened after.
We don't acknowledge fanfic.
No.
Yeah.
By the way, Peter Davison wants to know, how is the goat, Ballstrick?
The goat is in semi-retirement along with his owner. His owner will only do videos now when the mood strikes him, so it could be next week, could be 6 months. Same thing for the goat. If I decide, hey, I'm going to bring the goat out, then the goat will be back. So the goat isn't dead, unlike Adric, but he's retired. But he will freelance every now and then and come back.
Okay, there you go. I hope that answers your question, Peter Davison. Right, so that's it. Listen, that was tonight's watch along. I just want to give everybody on the panel now an opportunity to plug their channels. So if you guys would like to do that, obviously Charlotte is gone, so I will plug Daniel's channel. Don't forget to check out Daniel's channel. One of the mods will throw it up there in the live.
Who have we got as a mod in there? I don't know. Oh, Daniel, you can put your own channel.
Oh, well, he's there himself. So, Daniel, you can whack your channel in there, pal. And Lee, you go ahead.
Yeah, you can find my other channel, Aldred Audio Visual. You can find me on Being Problem rather, at Twitter. The song Meltdown Ocean Man featuring Hill versus Babyface still available to download or stream on all platforms. Off you go. Scissoring. Who cares, Scissoring?
Actually, I gotta admit, man, I love that song. I've lost track of how many times I've watched that video, and I fucking hate myself each time. Great job, dude.
Yeah, it's brilliant. You should hear his version of "What Have You Done For Me Lately" by Janet Jackson.
Say what?
Yeah. Lee sings a couple of songs. He has a song by.
I know he sings. I didn't know he was covering Janet Jackson.
Yeah, he does a funky version. Oh, you should check it out, man.
Years ago.
It doesn't matter. I'm still gonna you be quiet. Right? If you don't want to promote you, I'll do it instead. Right? He doesn't want to promote himself, so I'll do it for him. Check it out, man. It's on his Problem Being channel. It's the Janet Jackson song, "What Have You Done For Me Lately." Check it out. Tell me what you think, Ballstrick.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Right. While Lee sits there and contemplates his next single, we will talk to Crown Prince Alpha Omega. Who would you like to plug this week?
Well, you can, as like we usually say, follow everybody on the panel, and I'm on
Alpha Omega, you're cutting out a lot.
YouTube.
Right, you kind of cut out there, but if I get what you said subscribe to everybody on the panel and stuff. Isn't that what you said, or something like that?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's basically what I said. I support everybody on the panel here, and I'm on Twitter and YouTube.
No problem. Okay, Real Super Doctor.
I've got a Twitter account under Real Super Doctor, and I've got a YouTube channel under Real Super Doctor.
Fantastic. And our special guest this week, Ballstrick.
Hello. I have the Bulls Trek archival channel, formerly known as my regularly active channel, Bulls Trek. So if you want to watch my past videos, go to the Bulls Trek channel, soon to be renamed Bulls Trek Archival. I have a Twitter account that I use every now and then, but I think Twitter is cancer. So you can follow me on there. I have a Minds account that I was using for a while, but haven't touched that in a month either. What's coming up? Well, as I said, I only do videos now when I feel like it, and I haven't done a video in, almost a month. At some point, there'll be a video when the mood strikes, and it will not be announced. It will just be random. The goat might come back. Although, my Freddy Got Fingered Torture Session 2 live streams are still going to happen, because that's going to be fun because I want to see people's reaction to this. There'll be 2 live streams, so they might be on opposite weeks. There might be one day after the other. And most of the people here, all the people here, are welcome to one of them, and then there's the other one. So if you haven't seen Freddy Got Fingered anymore, then you won't believe what you're watching.
I've seen this movie. It's
available on
I know for a fact. That there's a certain Mr. Tom Green out there that wishes this movie would probably disappear, because this movie, trust me, if the left get offended by someone mispronouncing someone's proud, trust me, this movie is gonna really throw them over the edge. It's one of the greatest, funniest movies I've ever seen. Seriously, when I first seen this movie, I could not believe what I was watching.
Yep.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's sick, but it's brilliant. But yeah, it will be very interesting.
This movie's messed up, man. But so that's what I've got.
You're going to get some stick for it. You do know that, don't you?
I really don't care because I'm retired, dude. When you're retired, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Do what the fuck you want anyway.
Yeah, but now I can really do, because go ahead, cancel me. I'm retired.
Do you know what you should just do then? If you're not going to do your videos anymore, do you know?
I'm still doing my videos. It's just I'm just gonna.
Yeah, just when you feel like it. But here's one for you. That's what you should do. You should do controversial movie streams, like movies like Freddy. Well, they're not controversial to us, but be controversial to them. And you should pick movies every week.
Movies I love that will destroy your brain.
We'll do Blazing Saddles the week after that. That's got the triggered.
Hold on, I know the perfect list you could do. Have you seen that list going around of 20? Well, it's supposed to be a list of 25 movies that white male supremacists watch. But there
25 movies.
Carlito's Way,
White
male
supremacists watch. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Seriously,
I can't find it.
There's actually a post someone threw up yesterday on Twitter, and I seen it because someone that we know retweeted it. And it's like top 25 movies white male supremacists watch, right? And I had films like, as I said, Scarface, Carlito's Way, Kill Bill, Inglourious.
You mean films that most people love?
Inglourious Bastards, Schindler's List, I think, is in there as well.
Fuck off.
I'm not messing.
Serious?
I'm not messing. And I'm like, do these people realize that some of these movies are highlighting what went on during World War II, that this is very important? How is this racist? Like, you don't want to show anything like that.
God.
I'll see if I can find it and tag you. Hold on.
Yeah, tag me as well. I have to see this.
We'll have a quick discussion of this. While you're doing that, I got to refill my coffee. But yes, sounds like a good idea, Noel, but it won't be scheduled because sometimes I get up and it's like when I'm doing my review videos and it's like, oh crap, I have to review this. This is going to be shit. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm like, I get up, I feel like doing a review video. I'm going to do that. I get up, feel like I'm doing a live stream. I'll do a live stream. I don't feel like it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Anyway, the funny thing about this post is that they actually wrote in the tweet top 25 movies, right? And literally, when you count the movies, there's only 20 movies there. So the dumb shit that actually did the post, right, can't even count. Like, they can't count. They don't know the difference between 20 and 25. They think they're the same. Like, so these people are, listen, I'm sick of this, right? Apparently, a few months back, if you're a dog owner and you're white, you somehow are endorsing slavery because you have a dog, right? This is this shit that's going around now, right? Mr. Potato Head, right? Apparently is offensive now, right? Mr. Potato Head. That's how far we've fallen in society, right? It's not just their pop culture. It's society as a whole.
I'm waiting for my tag, Noel.
Yeah, I'm looking for it because I think I posted it myself. Hold on.
When did you post it?
Hold on. I'm looking. I'm going through my account now to see if I posted it.
I'll find it quicker than you do.
No, you won't. You won't. I'm on my phone and all. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, I'm looking. Noel likes cream pies.
Yeah.
Something about
That has so many meanings.
something about he's mad over filing taxes. Christopher,
No. Yeah, that's
Um,
what I was asking. But
somebody
someone sent me
taking
a
over.
video. So YouTube has this new tax thing that you have to fill in. And
Well,
if you don't fill in,
dude,
you
you're
don't
supposed
get
to
your-
pay taxes on it anyway.
What?
You're supposed to pay taxes on it anyway. You got to declare it.
Declare what?
Your taxes, your YouTube income.
Declare it to who? The tax man?
Yeah, it's self-employed income.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, we will not discuss this anymore.
You've just given ammunition. Now, right?
How am I? I didn't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to YouTube. I'm not even making that
Well,
much.
in Canada, they're now audited.
I think you have to be making over £100 a week.
Right. Well, I don't make over £100 a week, so I'm good.
Yeah, I don't anymore either.
So
Used to make a lot more than
I
that,
made
but
60 yesterday.
oh, congrats.
Woohoo.
Okay, Noel fighting with people on Twitter.
no, it's not. It might be on. Where's this fucking post?
Something about outrage.
Right, hold on. I didn't post it. Who posted?
Something about Donna.
Hold on. I think I know who posted it. Hold on.
We ought to put together a list of 20 movie snowflakes. Like,
Yeah.
Hold on,
see
this is a real post. Hold on, I'll find it. Someone that we know posted this, so I'll come across it.
My God, Noel, post less.
Well, I've got over 20,000 tweets on that account.
Marina and the Diamonds, Marina and the Diamonds, Marina and the Diamonds, Marina and the Diamonds.
It's not on the account. It's not on the
Football,
account.
Doctor Who.
I'm at March 21st now. Okay, pictures of Ted, lots of pictures of Ted. Random artwork is 300 logos.
Outrage. Oh, yeah, there we go. Got the outrage. Outrage.
Lots of outrage.
Outrage.
Sinead O'Connor for some reason.
Okay, yeah, you still have to tell everybody what's on
He
the
goes live a lot. He told us 16 times he was going live, so there's some. He's also left-handed, and somebody named Pogba scored.
Venga boys.
Brilliant.
Venga boys.
He canceled the movie stream. So that.
Jedward.
For some reason, Noel can't
Snyder.
wait for Loki. I'm disappointed. Let's see. Somebody's living rent-free. Jesus, fuck, man. Okay, so here's post to like 300 YouTube videos. I'm now down to March 16th, Noel. When did you post?
I've passed you. I'm on to March 11th. I still can't find it.
What is that? It's not even down that far. It was yesterday. So
Yesterday?
when it's even gone, I know someone.
Aqua.
We know.
Aqua.
I'm talking to everybody that I know to see.
You're posting Aqua? Okay,
Yeah.
Scatman, that's good.
Yeah.
iPhone 61, really, Noel?
iPhone 65.
Whatever, they suck. I'm blue. Yeah, you are fucking blue.
I like the Dalek maze. That's good.
Lots of pictures of Ted. I approve of that.
Jesus Christ, they're going through my account and approving.
We'll be doxing
now. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We've already done that to the tax man, so.
So what do I know? Because I don't know. I've never been told. So what do I do? So I go to the tax office and I tell them what I run a YouTube channel, and
I don't know how they do the taxes.
You're not legally. We can't legally give you any advice, financial advice.
So,
what do you mean you can't legally? You never give me legally. I'm asking is what do I have to do?
Just go to the tax office.
As self-employed income, and then they tax you on that. Although, if you didn't make a lot, then it's not going to make much of a difference.
I don't.
I don't anymore either. I used to make a lot. No, I don't make shit. Well, probably because I don't do anything. But yeah, you have to do something to make things. Okay, so I've got so 25 movies that white male supremacists want.
Hey, oh no,
Boogaloo movement wants to be seen as anti-racist. No, why is this? Man, this is so useless.
I'm pretty sure.
I'll do a search in the Twitter. 25.
Hold on, I scrolled
male
to yesterday.
movies.
So if I scroll to yesterday on my phone.
Oh no, people complaining about movies led by a white male. Fuck, I hate the modern world.
Well, how is Kill Bill in there? That's led by a female protagonist that kicks ass.
Oh, you found it? Did you find it?
No.
No, this article doesn't exist.
I didn't say it was an article. I said it was a tweet.
Oh, it was a tweet.
Oh my god.
Okay, we'll go to latest. I got 25 white male movies. No, March. All movies are racist since they cater to the 18 to 25 white male audience, not based on any fucking bullshit I've seen in the past 5 years.
I'll find this post.
I fucking hate this world. Dude, see, I was so happy when I wasn't doing the Twitter and I wasn't doing the YouTube because I just stopped paying attention to this stuff. And now I've been back on your stream for like an hour and a half. I'm watching it again, and I want this world to be hit by a fucking asteroid.
I'm being honest, Troy. I have to be honest. Twitter is it's ridiculous now. I mean, the amount of influence that this social networking site has as well is incredible, and it's scary. That post is real. It's a tweet, guys. I'm not messing. I'm still scrolling to see if I can find it, but it was so dumb. I just started laughing.
It may have been removed. No, it's just all movies are racist again. Everything's fucking racist. Fuck y'all. I go into my bubble. I like my bubble. My bubble stops 4 years ago. As long as you don't pay any attention to anything after like 2016, you're fine. Okay, well, let's just see what Twitter has. 25 movies that white male supremacists want list. I'm sure something. White savior in narrative and film. Okay, so what's the Boogaloo? Oh no, they're white supremacist. Okay, so these are everything's white supremacist. Best proven movies, best male supremacy this, Proud Boys that. Fucking get a life, people. I hate the world.
Certainly not an advertisement for a way forward, is it? Really?
No. Oh, something. Okay, yeah, incels. Yeah, white males are incels. That's why, we don't reproduce anymore. Fucking idiots. What else we got here? See, now to fight systems. See, I put in these keywords and I hate the world. I hate the world. And this is all in like the last week. This world sucks.
No, you got to remember, it's Twitter that sucks. It's not the world, mate. This is not the whole world. Like, Twitter doesn't listen. If Twitter reflected what society truly was, trust me.
Here we go. White males are the single biggest threat to the safety of us at shopping malls, movie theaters, and high schools. I mean, really?
Oh, that's why everybody runs away from me every time I go into the mall.
Yeah, in England, they were trying to. This woman was trying to put through a law that would suspend men for going out after 6 p.m.
I heard about
that. Kind of a curfew.
Yeah, I heard that, and
I mean, that's totally crazy.
Imagine that. Imagine telling men that they have to stay at home because, like, there's a few bad apples out there. And I'm sorry, people might hate that term, but that's exactly what it is. A few bad apples.
Yeah.
Right? You can't judge all men on the behavior. And there's some women out there as well that are just as bloody bad. So don't be giving me that crap.
I'm beginning to think you've made this up, Noel.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I do.
Just to be controversial.
I'm not trying to be controversial.
No, he just wanted me to look at all these headlines from the past week.
So you can blow
Yeah,
your
I do that.
Okay, here we go. 15 popular movies that didn't exactly stand the test of time by our friends at BuzzFeed.
Oh.
I just picked this up at random. Let's just see what they've got.
Oh, that's a few years old.
Never Been Kissed. No, it's just a bad movie.
Incels.
About doing a teacher. Sex in the City. It was always garbage.
Yep.
16 Candles. Okay, that's a classic, but they can't have a sense of humor. Rush Hour. I always found Chris Tucker kind of annoying in that.
Yeah.
Grease is shit. Breakfast Club is a classic.
Yep.
Pretty Woman. I don't like it. The Water Boy. Okay, so it makes fun of people. Oh, 50 Shades of Grey. I'm like, yeah, because it undid your narrative. Cruel Intentions.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I like that movie. Saturday Night Fever. Okay, that's shit. Groundhog Day. Really?
Love it.
Groundhog Day.
Well, he is a bit of a sexist pig in that movie, but is that what they judge it on? Because that was the whole point.
Manipulating Rita. Animal House. Yeah, well, I can do it. Triggered. Revenge of the Nerds, a classic, but
Blazing Saddles at.
The Hangover. Yeah, we're canceling 2019 already. Let's see, more like this. 25 movies with scenes people think are problematic as hell. Oh, this should be good.
People.
Okay. The premise of Grease being change everything about yourself for a man. Nobody told you to do that. You did it.
Also, they say that it's a bit rapey as well.
I just find it a terrible movie. Did she put up a fight? Let's not forget about this line. Well, yeah, but in context. The repeated body shaming of Natalie in Love Actually. I like that movie, and I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to admit I like it. So, God damn it. Okay, so we got body shaming. A second scene where somebody says he's perfect. Yeah, people being attractive to attractive people isn't a thing. The anti-trans movement in Ace Ventura in Pet Detective. Really? Fuck off. The anti-trans aspects in Silence of the Lambs. He wears people's faces.
No, I think they're talking about the character that wears people's skin.
Oh, the scene in Wedding Crashers where Vince Vaughn's character is forced to have sex by his girlfriend. It's funny, and it's like reversing things, but no, we can't do that. The garbage, unsupportive boyfriend in The Devil Wears Prada. Okay, so you're going out with a jackass. You decided to go out with this jackass, so you
exactly.
The Dumbo is racist. Dumbo.
How is
the
Dumbo
Aristocat.
racist? Dumbo's a fucking elephant.
Because of the crows. That's
yeah,
why.
the Aristocats are also racist.
Siamese cats, yeah. Can't have that.
So the fact that Revenge of the Nerds is packed with both sexual assault and murder.
Well, I tell you,
miscongeniality, the eating disorder jokes, because you see, idiots, not you idiots, I'm talking to regular idiots. Comedy is supposed to be something that pushes the envelope, and it's funny because it's making fun of things that normal people wouldn't make fun of, but because you're low IQ'd fucking simpleton bolts. Okay, so the depressing message of The Little Mermaid. Okay, the scene in Rocky has straight up sexual harassment.
Which one?
That's his wife. Okay. As well as the moment in The Devil Wears Prada, which plays into the same trope. Really? Not to mention the sexual harassment in The Breakfast Club, called comedy. The treatment of BDSM. Oh, this is why. Okay, so the treatment of BDSM in 50 Shades of Grey. This is why you people just confused the shit out of me. So you're saying that you support BDSM, you just don't like the way it's portrayed in that movie. But some of you are triggered by the fact of BDSM being in that movie. So make up your fucking mind.
Right.
So it's a terrible movie.
Oh, they're just slut shaming. Oh my god, they're slut shaming. They must be held to account and cancelled immediately for slut shaming.
Oh, they've got many layers of fuckery and overboard. Never watched it. The scene in 16 Candles where a drunk and unconscious woman is offered up to another guy by her boyfriend. She's totally gone. Have fun. Well, that might be questionable, but again, context and time frame. Pretty much the entirety of Thoroughly Modern Millie. Never really watched it. The scene in Top Gun where Tom Cruise's character follows Kelly McGinnis into the ladies' bathroom to warn her off another guy. Okay, so a guy's like stalking her and shit, and he wants to tell her she's doing bad things, but we can't do that anymore. The sword fight scene in The Mask of Zorro. No, I'm just offended because it was a shit movie. The concept of passengers being both creepy and sexist. That's the point, you fucking idiots. It's a goddamn cautionary tale, you fucking morons. The Ferris wheel scene in The Notebook. Whatever. Fuck off. Okay, I can't read this anymore. I'm done. Ran over.
Oh, yeah. Welcome
You've
to
seriously not seen Thoroughly Modern Millie? My God.
I know of it. I just have not seen it.
Oh my God, I don't think you would want to see it.
For all I know, I own it somewhere in the archive. I did get a bunch of DVDs for free.
Is that Julie Andrews or something? Or?
Yeah, it is.
So who's glad that I came back to give you a rant?
Hell yeah.
That was a rant that I felt like doing. It wasn't a forced rant because I don't give a shit. To everybody doing YouTube, the best thing you could do is just decide you no longer give a fuck. If you don't feel like doing a video that day, don't do a video that day. Oh, yes. And the best way of being good with Doctor Who again is A, nothing after 2017 exists, and B, don't engage with the fandom at all. And then you'll learn how to like it again. It only took me like a year.
Yeah, I just stopped interacting with them entirely. It's amazing how calm and peaceful it feels.
Told you.
I didn't even block them. I just don't. It's not.
They become afterthoughts, right? They focus on other shit, so let them focus on other crap.
It's so nice.
By the way, Balchek, because you have been away. Here's something I don't really mean to do this, but you know, maybe you might want to come back a little bit quicker. But so BBC Doctor Who America's Twitter handle put up a picture of David Tennant as John Smith last week, and the Jodie stands kicked up murder and said that they were racist and his girlfriend was racist. And guess what? BBC America took down the post.
Wait, so I don't follow this stuff anymore because it hurts my fucking head. But is this what's happening right now? David Tennant and his wife are racist?
No, the character
John Smith's racist.
The character John Smith and his girlfriend in the show are racist, and they demanded that the post be taken down.
Wait, they're racist? They were the fucking villains. Jesus. I don't even follow it anymore. They get triggered by everything. I blame my generation because I don't have kids, but people that had kids fucking raised this fucking generation of goddamn triggered degenerate pieces of shit. Not all of you, just most of you. So thank you, Generation X.
What happened? What actually happened? Because our generation was supposed to be the generation that was hip.
Well, we were, but then we were so hip that we decided to, not me, but most of my friends that have kids decided to practice distance parenting. Let your kids do whatever they want. Pay no attention to what they're being taught in school. And now that these kids are in their early 20s, you wonder why the world has gone to hell. Well,
Yeah.
you'll have nobody to blame for it but yourselves. Well, it was supposed to be the cool, hip generation that was going to destroy the world. Well, you brought in a bunch of kids that are destroying the fucking world. Not all of them. There are some. But Jesus Christ. See, this is why I stay away from Twitter. God damn it, Noel. I was in a great mood. I've been on the street, for an hour, 2 hours?
Fucked, he's fucked in now. It's like, that's it, it's done.
You young whippersnappers.
Well, to add to that, just to add to more of your misery, a few weeks back, Emily Cook was doing the Unicorn and the Wasp, and she had to take down that watch along because they were giving out. What?
No, I knew about that. I was that was before I departed. I chased away your dog.
They they're getting a bit I don't know. These kids
they're a bunch of arrogant, self-centered,
sanctimonious,
and see, kids are raised. It's part nature, part nurture. Well, a lot of them were raised on soy and other fucking bullshit. They were always put in bubble wrap because, all of a sudden everybody's got fucking peanut allergies. We didn't have that when I was a fucking kid. So they're weak. They are smaller than we were at that age, significantly, which is alarming because over time, humans get slightly and slightly larger until this fucking generation. They're all just little, growing at 12. And they were allowed to do whatever they want. They were allowed to be brainwashed. But it's this narcissism and arrogance that was built into them. They think they know better than older people. They think they're smarter than older people. And those of you that raised them, you were responsible for this. And God fucking help Generation X when we're retirement age, and these little pieces of shit, not all of you, just most of you, running the world.
Not all of you.
Hashtag not all.
Yeah. And then they're just they'll probably have us exterminated for toxic masculinity.
Oh yeah, they can't wait to switch us off.
Well, they won't be switching me off without a fight, I can tell you that.
I'll just shit myself when I go. There you go. Clean with that. Deal with it.
Yeah. No.
Well, I'm now in a terrible, terrible, terrible mood.
Well,
hey, thanks for stopping by.
Well, yeah, it's been great having you back.
Not back, visiting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But you ain't gonna let me finish.
I'm never coming back, Noel. I'm just visiting.
You've done it. You've finished them off.
Listen, you'll come back when the time is ready to come back.
Dude, you notice I'm using a different logo.
Yeah, I did notice.
Yeah.
My retired logo.
By the way, I predict you'll be back in the next few weeks anyway. So
why?
Because shit is going to hit the fan.
Dude, shit's been hitting the fan for 5 fucking years.
Yeah.
Fucking shit on the wall. You can't add more shit to the wall because they're already covered in shit. I'm covered in shit. The table's covered in shit. Everything's fucking covered in shit. The shit can only hit the fan so many times. There's so much goddamn shit on the fan that the fan can't fucking spit anymore.
It's caked on.
As usual, boss, it's been an absolute pleasure.
But yes, Noel, why is shit going to hit the fan? Not that I care. It's bad every fucking day because they're being triggered by something or that show that we no longer talk about wants to turn the doctor into transsexual reverse osmosis fucking cabbage. I don't know.
Cabbage. A cabbage would be better.
Well, the doctor regenerates into a duck.
How do we know the difference?
I'd rather have a piece of broccoli in the roll.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but what's going to happen before I leave and go take some Tylenol because you've given me a headache by making me yell? What's going to happen in a few weeks?
Nothing's got no. Shit is just going to hit the fan. Trust me, I can feel it. I
Dude,
predict
shit,
these things.
shit hits the fan every day. Let's take a look and see what's fucking trending on Twitter today. Okay. Twitter.
Well, I'll tell you what's
Okay.
trending here.
Let's see.
Is trending.
Wait, no. I'm going to go to the Google.
Mine is. People debate who is the better pig. Is it Olivia the pig or Pepper the pig? These are very important questions.
What?
That's what's trending on in the UK. Pepper
What,
the
there's
pig.
another pig? I thought there was only one Pepper. I thought there was only one pig, and that was Miss Piggy.
Oh dear.
No, Porky's the only good.
I do like Peppa Pig, I have to be honest now.
Apparently it's Heath Ledger's birthday would have been Heath Ledger's.
And I'd have to be honest, Peppa Pig gets my vote every time.
Yeah, Porky.
Wait, they canceled Pepper the pig.
Peppa Pig.
Pepper.
It's Peppa.
No, it's Canadian. Pepper.
Right, Peppa Pig. Who's the fuck is Peppa Pig? Peppa Pig's cousin.
It's all racist. Everything's
Canadian
racist.
bacon.
That was not a good movie, although it was John Candy's last movie. He died making that movie.
Yeah.
I see, Noel, I'm just looking at Twitter here. Everything's fucking racist. White supremacy is alive and well. How is wanting black kids back in school white supremacy? Good question. Thought all kids should be in school, but hey, no, we don't do that anymore.
Oh, there was a committee set up in the UK to
people of color, you're not ugly. White supremacy is ugly. Like, fuck Twitter. Fuck this shit. Okay.
Well, this committee was set up to investigate the claims of institutional racism in the UK, and it was set up with a committee of a diverse group of people of all races and colours and all the rest of it. And their conclusion was that there is absolutely no evidence for the claims of institutional racism in this country. I was so proud at that moment. I was like, yes! And of course, the left lost their fucking shit.
Chris Lawley with a £5 super chat. He says, thanks for making me laugh. Yeah, we always, when Ballstrek always comes on at the end of the watch-alongs, we always do seem to have a laugh. And I had to fill Ballstrek in with the nonsense.
Bitter, miserable old bastard.
Because the reaction does it, yeah.
I want to know what I'm going to be like when I'm like 70. God, I'm going to be miserable. Come at me, fucking kids.
Do you know what? Here's the thing, though. I mean, we're not going to change, right? We're not going to change our way of thinking. So
that's why they're going to have disintegration chambers for us, Noel.
Yes, I was just going to say that's when they come and line us up against the wall.
Well, they could try, as I said, because I tell you one thing, history won't be repeating itself. Won't be going down. I won't be going down without a fight this time. Tell you that. Fuck that shit. These kids are not. No way. Don't give a crap how old I am. If I have to pick up a weapon and fight these kids, I'll fight these kids. Fuck them all. Right? They're not going to tell us how we could think, how we should act, how I should even sit.
Well, dude. Here's the good thing. They're so little and malnourished and just fucking physically weak. Even at 70, they need like 10 of them to take us up. Literally, when they're having their little protest things,
they break their wrists trying to slap you.
It's like, what the fuck? I'm like, what did your parents feed you? Why are you like? You're like 25. You look like you're 12. Why are you so goddamn little?
Your mommy not give you a Weetabix.
No,
Weetabix. Meat is murder.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, raised on fucking soy and vegetable and fucking fake meat. Fucking veggie burger.
Plastic meat with hormones.
Oh, I have tried that fake meat, by the way. Plant-based meat. And I just don't get it. I'll never will get it. I mean, listen, if you don't eat meat and you want to eat something that looks like meat and tastes like meat because it's a psychological thing, go and do that. Don't be
veggie burger don't look like meat, don't taste like meat. It tastes like somebody took the fucking shit that's been flying from the fucking fan, gathered some up, put it on a fucking barbecue, put some fucking soy milk on it, and served it up on a fucking all natural, fucking non-white, goddamn gluten-free bun.
Made out of yoga mats, yeah.
better for the environment.
And better for the environment, but not better for your health.
Are you going to be a runner? No, I'm just going to be a cranky old bastard. I'll just give them scary looks and they'll run away and fucking cry themselves. Like when we were kids, you sorted shit out in the playground. We all got in fights. It was part of being a kid. Now they'll send you to fucking jail.
That's it. I mean, even back then, right? Even back in my day, I'm not saying that teachers should start taking out their rulers again. But even in my day, if I stepped out a line in class, like the teacher would come over and literally steal a ruler across the fucking knuckles.
Dude,
like,
I had a teacher.
Like, you know,
I had a teacher that would pick up the desk with you in it and throw it in the fucking hallway. That's how we were raised. Now the teachers are scared shitless of the kids because the kids control the parents, the kids control the teachers, the kids fucking control everything.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck. And the generation that's coming up after this one is going to be even worse.
Oh, yeah, because they're going to be raised by these twats. And then these twats are going to say to them, listen, even though you have a willy, you can decide what you want to be. Or you can be a woman or you can be a man. You can choose, right? Because
no, we can't say woman or man anymore.
You have the right to choose your own path yourself. And I know you're only 3 years of age, but that's quite big, though.
They're biologically, they're sort of, chronologically, they're 23. It's just physically, mentally, everything else, they're like 4. See, you know, when you have kids, they throw their little temper tantrums, and then, you know, the parents will make them not do that. Well, this is what happens when you don't control that, and they do that their whole fucking lives.
This is where they put them in the timeout.
The timeout is cruel now. Now they do fucking negotiating.
What?
Negotiating.
How you cannot negotiate? Listen for a minute.
Negotiator.
Right, listen for a minute, right? At the end of the day, we lost their fucking minds. You do not negotiate with kids. If your kids, you're the adult, you're the parent, right? You tell your kid, you teach your kid right from wrong. That's it.
Dude, this is what it's like now, and I've seen this, and my jaw has dropped.
Wow.
Okay, Johnny, it's bedtime. I don't want to go to bed. Which back in the day, you get clocked across the head. Now it's like, well, okay, Johnny, when do you want to go to bed? I don't want to go to bed. Well, tell you what, Johnny, you can play with your toys or your Xbox or your fucking tablet, because they all have tablets because they're goddamn.
Yeah. On
zombie.
The internet.
It's like, okay, well, you can have half an hour on your tablet, Johnny, and then you're going to go to bed. You're not telling me what to do.
And it's not Johnny anymore, it's Julie.
Later, Johnny. And then what they do is they just let Johnny tucker himself out. I see this over and over again. This is what parenting is. It's not parenting. It's being terrified of your kids. And then when they're 20,
well, they've got more power than parents now, because government's now saying you can't do anything. You can't say anything. You can't
give a crap.
Do
anything. If you touch me, I'll contact Child Protective Services.
Yeah.
Divorce you.
You can't do anything to them because you can't tell me what to do because I'm going to file a sexual harassment claim on you. And they actually use that threat. Like, it's fucking awful. I'm glad I'm half dead.
Hey, you're not. It's at least you don't have to deal with that, and you can just.
Well, see, here's what you could say. At least we had a few good decades before the world went to fucking shit.
That's it. I had the 80s and the 90s.
We had the 80s and the 90s. The 2000s, the culture was shit, but the 2000s wasn't woke.
It wasn't.
So that.
The early 2000s was fine.
Half the 2010s wasn't woke. We have the world before like 2015.
Yeah, that's when it all started to go wrong. Yeah, you're right. Because the
were kids. We went outside. We would play outside in the evening. They don't do that anymore. They started a tablet, which is why they're all toasty as fuck.
Yeah. We went, yeah. I mean, we actually did things. These kids just do fuck all. They're in all day on their tablets. It's like they're it is true what they say. They're kind of the social media generation, aren't they?
So goddamn little. Like they don't exercise, they don't play, they stay inside all day, and if they go outside after whining and fucking negotiating, okay, Joey, go outside and I'll give you a fucking cake. And all Joey does is he goes outside and Joey will sit there with his fucking tablet, do the same thing he's doing inside. I don't see kids playing around anymore. We always had street hockey. I don't remember the last time I saw street hockey. Oh no, we can't do that anymore because hockey's offensive.
We used to play a game called
you can't do that because we can't make fun of the fat kid that can't keep up with the other kids.
Yeah.
So nobody can play anymore. I was a fat kid. I was perfectly fine.
Yeah. I used to play games. We used to play games in the block of flats. So remember, there used to be stairs. We used to play a game called IRA. So we'd basically go around with like weapons, right? So whatever choice of weapon you wanted. So normally it was a stick or seriously what we literally did as kids. We would have these trees, and the branches were so bendy that you could actually make bow and arrows out of these branches, and that's what we used to do. Like, we used to make bow and arrows and make arrows. We'd literally go around, and if you got caught, you got the crap kicked out of you. It was basically like modern warfare in a block of flats. Like, the object was one team had to take the other team out.
Better be careful, Noel. They're going to start calling you terrorist now.
Yeah. Because
Unknown 289 says
I played football as well. Should I be criticised for that as well? I smashed a few windows.
You're a misogynistic fucking mansplaining piece of shit, Noel. So Unknown 289 says, you are blind to the truth. The world has always been this bad. The world is evil. Well, yeah, it's always been evil, but it used to be tolerable. It used to be that you could ignore it and do your own thing. You can't even ignore it and do your own thing anymore unless you're inside your fucking house. But then you're still triggering people.
Yeah, I was in the Boy Scouts as well, Daniel, until I got kicked out.
I did too. I was in the Boy Scouts, I think, for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. I got kicked out because we went away on a trip. Yeah. And there was a treasure hunt, and I was on a team, and I was determined to win because I don't like losing. And we lost because of one person.
You're not allowed to say that word anymore, Noel.
Yeah, and I literally lost it, and I got sent home. And I was then when my mum brought me back the next week, said, "No, your son can't come back." That's it.
I never made it. I never made it to the Scouts. I only made it to the Beavers, and I never even. I got chucked out the Beavers because it was supposed to be like this.
Beavers?
Yeah, the Beavers.
Yeah,
over here.
Beavers is the mini cubs. Yeah, mini cubs are.
Yeah,
their clubs.
Not used anymore.
Yeah,
I get kicked out because someone stole my girlfriend, and I had. It was like I was like really angry, and it was like kind of party night out, and I just walked out the door, and I jammed his arm in the door because I was just walking out.
You robbed my girlfriend. No, I didn't. She didn't like it in the first place. Well, she did. No. She was with me. Well, she likes me better, so get over it. Kids are cruel. I'm telling you, man.
So I just shut the door on his arm. And they just said I wasn't to get back.
Well, in fairness, he stole your girlfriend. Like, you know, that even as a kid, that shit don't fly. You don't take someone's girlfriend. That's the rule. Well, it did happen. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I know. It was just like I was like. I think it was. I don't know what it was, but I never got on well with him anyway. So I just left it.
Never joined anything like that.
Yeah, I found it fascinating and stuff, but I mean, would I have stuck at it if I hadn't been kicked out? I don't know myself. I say I would have got pretty bleeding bored. I mean, like, you're there to get badges, and then after you get your badges, what have you got at the end of it all?
bunch
You
of
got
badges.
badges.
You've got a dumb suit and badges. That's
Yeah.
not really going to do you much in the real
But
life.
you'll learn to tie knots. But you can
Yeah.
also do that
The
in
reef
Navy.
knot.
Yeah, do you know what? You'll end up like a MacGyver type, you know? You'll start using super glue and chew.
You become a prepper or something.
I must depart.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish
It was
up now
fun. I
anyway.
came on a whim. Now I'm angry. Now my throat hurts.
Well, listen, you're more than welcome to come back anytime.
I come when I feel like it.
Well, listen,
Well,
yeah.
Said the actress to the bishop.
No. Who started me on that rant? Because I wasn't going to rant today.
No,
It wasn't.
Yeah, it
No.
was. You brought up your thing, and then I got mad, and that was like,
It was
I
the
think
20.
it was the shit's
20
about to
movie.
hit the fan.
oh,
Yeah,
okay,
that as well.
I've been yelling for like an hour. Thanks, Noel.
No problem. It's
Goodbye,
just all
everyone.
weird.
Bye, Bostra.
It's-
I'd like to leave on a positive note, but the world is fucked. Everybody's fucked. Just be glad you had good years, because everything going ahead is going to be fucking bullshit, and people are fucking idiots, and the future is fucked, and I hate this world. Let's hope it gets hit by an asteroid and we all fucking die.
Well, I can tell you, so hold on, before you leave, I can tell you that that's not going to happen, because apparently, this is how stupid the world is. There's apparently a TikTok
Asteroids
account
are
out there.
racist.
Now, you can check this out. This is legit as well as that post. I'll find that post and I'll tag you in it later. Or I will find that post. Right?
Well, dude, there was
There's
that
a TikTok
asteroid that was
account.
supposed to hit us, and it didn't, because even the fucking asteroid doesn't want to have anything to do with this.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
listen,
on Earth, it's like, fuck this.
this is how dumb people are. There's a TikTok account out there, right?
Well,
That's-
stop right there.
This person is claiming to be from the future, and the world, as you have just described now, has ended up that way, and he's roaming there. Now, he says in his videos that he doesn't know how he's able to show the footage in this time, but he's from the future, 20 years in the future.
Somebody
Everything's
wants
gonna be fucked.
attention.
Now, I will say something. The videos are either the videos. I've watched the videos. He is walking through empty hospitals, empty shopping malls. But then I was thinking to myself, well, that could be clever editing on his part, right?
Or it could be the fact that there are a lot of abandoned hospitals out there, and there are a lot of abandoned malls. And
he knows where they
last
are.
year, every mall was abandoned.
Yeah. So,
Well, they're racist anyway.
But this person is believed. This person is believed by over 2 million people. He has something like 7 or 8 million people following.
No, that's depressing.
Like, that's how dumb we are. And here's the funny thing about it. In one of the early videos that he put up, he
Because if you come from the future, you're going to be on TikTok, aren't you?
No, but he messed up, he did. Because in one of the early videos, you can literally see he's panning into a factory. He pans away from the road real quickly. But when you slow it down, you can see it. There's actually a car driving fucking by. So, like, but these people believe that he's from the future. There's literally, read the comments, it's freaky. There's people that actually believe he's from the future and keep asking him, what happened? I don't know. He just ended up here, and this is what I'm showing you. And he's showing empty streets, empty hospitals, and empty
next doctor
shopping malls. And it looks like 28 days later. It really does. But
can they tell me the pools draw numbers or the lottery numbers?
That's it.
And Disaster Area just
Manchester
said,
United win the Premier League again. That's what I'd like to find out. But
will the stream still be going? Well, I don't know. I may still be ranting at that point because
no, we're gonna finish now. We're gonna end.
Okay, so I'm gonna see the future, Noel. I'm gonna use my big time traveling brain, and I'm gonna predict the fucking future. You ready?
Yeah.
It's all
We're
shit.
all fucked. We are fucked. We are fucked. Goodbye.
And with that, we are gonna say good night too. I want to thank all.
I think you should stop by.
I want to thank all the guests tonight. I want to thank everybody in the chat. Chris, thanks for that super chat. Really do appreciate it. Thanks a lot. And as I said, there are people that are really that dumb actually think that this guy is from the future, and you know, the fact that he says he doesn't know how the videos are being able to, and people have just lapped that up, just shows you that.
Yeah, we had that before, and Peter Davison rightly points out John Titor was one of the earliest examples of the time traveling mystery man. You know, and it's and they try and work around the, you know, it's because I've traveled back in time. Obviously, that changes everything, creates a paradox, and my future isn't necessarily yours. I'm here to warn you, kind of thing. It's just like, fuck off.
Do you know what? Yeah, sure. But you know, at the end of the day, where the cards fall and where the earth ends up being, you know, we'll be long dead. So who gives a fuck?
Well, time travel is actually physically impossible. I don't care what the current day physics say. It's not, because time has no dimensions. It has no energy. It has no mass. You can't fold it. You can't. It has no. Look. Time is a conceptual thing. It's an abstract idea. It's not a physical thing. You can't bend it. You can't tear a hole through it. You can't fucking travel through it. Time has no arrow of direction. It's just an aspect of 3 dimensions.
That's it. And with that, we're going to leave on that positive scientific gobbledygook crap that Lee just came out with there. Okay. And you know,
wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
It's timey wimey, wibbly wobbly, wobbly wibbly, wibbly wobbly, and all of that. Right, join us tomorrow for some new Who. We have what have we got next? Oh yeah, I think it's the second part. Yeah, of the Sontaran extravaganza. So come and join us for that, because it does really get and when we left, the wolf was going to die. So pretty exciting. If you haven't seen it, come and join us. Find out if he lives. Where have you been if you haven't seen it? Under a rock or something? You want to be watching plenty of that new Who before we get to that.
It's under a ton of shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say goodnight to you all. Say goodnight to me, guys. Thank you, Alpha, for picking this week's story. Actually, hold on. Peter Davison, that's me. That's me. I'll tell you what, I'll make an announcement on the channel. I'll do something fancy for it. I'll announce my episode later. I'll let you know what story I've picking. That's chosen. What the hell is wrong with my English?
Warriors of the Deep.
Not enough oppression.
See, it's not my natural language, you see. See, that's what 800 years of occupation.
Well, go on then. Speak some Irish Gaelic then.
Slán. That means goodbye. Bye.
Top of the morning.
No, top of the morning. No, we don't say. Listen. I just want to make it clear, right?
You set him off now.
There's no leprechauns running around. There's no pot of golds at the end of rainbows. We don't show top of the morning to you.
Sure to be
to you. Right? We don't go around drunk all the time. None of those stereotypes. And no, Irish people are not offended by Lucky Charms. Okay? And they're not magically delicious. By the way.
Oh, they are.
If you're actually going to make a cereal called Lucky Charms, at least have different fucking flavors, yeah? Then it'll be magical. Yeah? The one flavor is not coming in.
It's all marshmallow.
So get your act together there, whoever makes the Lucky Charms. Right? You want
never even tried it. I don't even think we even have those.
By the way, they're €9 a box here. They import them from America and they charge €9 a box. Right? Cheryl actually got me a 4-pack of the little the pot ones that you can get where you just add milk, so it has one serving, and it was something like €7 for them. They're very expensive. See, they know what they're doing. The ones that I actually really want to try are the apple ones. Kellogg's apple. What are they?
Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks. They're the ones I want to try. I want to get my hands on a box of them, but I've never been able to get them over here, and I haven't been able to see where I can get them. So, like, yeah, that's the cereal I really want to try. I've always had.
Give me a post office box and I'll send you some.
Well, Apple Jacks, like, I don't. Are they even nice though? That's the thing. They could be fucking horrible. Like, but I hate the way Kellogg's do certain cereals in certain countries. Like, if you're gonna do the cereals, right? You're a big cereal, do the every country should be able to access all your cereals.
And can I just say, can you stop doing limited editions? Just make the fucking thing and stick to it, right? Because you get people hooked on, like, it's usually with like orange chocolate or something.
Yeah,
I love orange chocolate, and they always do it limited edition. Then you're like, oh, I fucking love this, and then they stop doing it, and you're like, you bastard.
Sure, they've done a strawberry Cocoa Pops limited edition one. Right? And you think about it, that milk will be strawberry with this. That'll be lovely. It will be. The Cocoa Pops do look. The chocolate one has always been. Look, they've got a white chocolate limited edition one as well. They'll do another one, but you're right. They're all limited edition. Don't be limited edition. Do them all, man. There's a market for them all.
Commit.
There's a market for them all. Seriously. I wouldn't mind different cereals, like, because we have the same. So I just want something new, man. I'm sick of the same cereals over and over and over.
I don't really eat them very often, anyway.
Yeah, I
don't like cereals at all.
I eat them in the evening when I'm hungry, when I don't want to make anything. Just a bowl of cereal.
It's for me. It's like either there's nothing in the fridge, or I can't be bothered. So it's one of those sort of slacker meal things. But I very rarely.
Yeah,
I'd rather have a porridge or something like that.
Yeah, Cheryl's the same. She'd rather have a porridge as well. And with that, we're going to leave it at that. We're not going to talk about breakfast cereal because I'm hungry now. So I brought that.
Yeah, I need to go to the shop.
I'm going to leave it now. So here we go. Here's the classic Who trailer. So good night. We'll talk to you tomorrow for New Who. Have a good night. Look after yourselves. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to say the usual. Say good night, Master Problem Being.
Say good night, Master Problem Being. Okay. Contractual obligation fulfilled. Next.
For fuck's sake. Real Super Doctor.
Good night.
Crown Prince Omega.
Good night, Crown Prince Omega.
Yeah.
Now, hang on. You don't start copying him now. If you're going to do your thing, do your own thing. Don't be copying.
We're forming a club.
I don't hate copycats, right? The original is always the best, right?
The original, you might say.
The original. And it's a good night for me, Ted. But Cheryl's in the other room, but I know she'll want me to say wishes all a good night. And stay safe. Look after yourselves as usual. And I hope to see you all here tomorrow for some New Who.
Sure.
And then I'll make me point that I wanted to make about Peter Capaldi, because just in case anybody thought I forgot about that, I have not. See, that's how much it's been playing on my mind. We've been 3 hours and 32 minutes in, and I said that at the start of the stream, and I remembered that. Wow, that's Jesus, my brain must be working again. Okay, good night, folks. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.